They think that I just come in there and look for knockoffs, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, I'm here. Who wants to fight me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
My goal is to demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. How y'all doing out there, man? Hope everybody is enjoying 2026. You know, we had a little bit of boxing this weekend, but I mean, I guess it was something to watch. But I don't think it really generated enough buzz, not enough to really get people to really like talk about it or make it the meat and potatoes of a real conversation. I mean, but it's always an honor and a privilege to be able to go ahead and talk some boxing talk, man. I've been taking my time, man. I just I don't like this new era of boxing, man. I'm officially gonna put a stake in the ground and say that I don't like the Shakur Stevenson era of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like for one, it's all over the place. It's contrived. A lot of the theories and a lot of things that's going on is contrived. You can tell that it's an agenda to push certain things, and it's just it's not authentic. You know, in my opinion, it's just not authentic. Cookie Monster, Bodywork, salute Cookie Monster. Yeah, but this Shakur Stevenson era, man, and what these guys got going on, it's just not authentic, man. It's like you could poke holes in it. It's kind of crazy because I said I was going to do more of this. Going back to when Teofimo Lopez was acting out of pocket, and I was one of the ones on the forefront saying, "Nah, man, we need to nip this in the bud. We need to nip this in the bud," and nobody really cared. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna get back to just like caring about like who I care about. Like I'm not gonna, not that I ever really did. I'm not gonna go out of my way to talk about subject matters in boxing just because they are hot topics, if that makes sense. Cookie Monster say, mic check, 1 2 1 2, sounding excellent as always. I appreciate that. You know I need that. I appreciate that, Cookie Monster. But just because a topic is trending, and I know there's people out here that's actually lecturing on it and everything. Salute AC, salute. AC say salute Bodywork, salute AC. But there's people out here giving lectures on it and all that. It's like boxing and this channel, it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. Dev Wall, salute. Bodywork Boxing, salute Dev Wall. But I mean, this channel is gonna be what it's gonna be. You know, we're gonna be thorough in our approach. We're gonna be surgical with the information. And again, it's not really designed to be popular. This is not what it is. It's like if I really wanted to do it, if I wanted to do a show, if I wanted to do something to really like garner money and make money and do all of that, I know how to do that. Like, I know how to do that. I could be talking about religion. I could talk about politics. I could talk about real life. I could just start a channel on anything I want and use my graphics, spend time. I could do documentaries. It's so many things. Boxing is my hobby. And I'm not going to allow myself to be driven by the money. And I'm not going to allow myself to cater to certain narratives or force myself, pigeonhole myself, pretzel myself, put on tonsil jewelry and throat coat and, you know, and knee pads to try to co-sign these guys, you know what I'm saying? And try to get out here and try to like force myself to talk about something and push an agenda just because I know that it's a target audience for it, if that makes sense. It's people out here that's actually doing that. Got the nerve to actually come out here and lecture people about, man, the shit that you be saying and doing is just dumb, dude. It's just dumb. You know what I'm saying? It's like it don't got nothing to do with nobody trying to make no money and nobody wasting their time. Boxing is for some people. I know, like for AC, myself, there's some people that just like to talk about boxing. There's even people that don't like to just stick to boxing. Why? Because they can't. They can't just keep it boxing. They got to talk about everything else but boxing. Why? But they're in everybody else's lane. We got a lane over here. Silence is consent. That means we speak to the things because they say all it takes for evil to prevail. And evil, it appears as though it's prevailing in the sport of boxing. All it takes for evil to prevail is for men and women to remain silent. And a lot of people choose not to. They don't remain silent. They gaslight. They choose to actually always stay on the opposite end or choose to be the opposite or choose to pull in politics or choose to gaslight. Get you to question in your own sound reasoning, your own logic, your memory, your ability to rationale. That's what they do. We're not going to do that. Real talk by Honeybee. Salute. Bodywork. Salute. Honeybee. We're not going to do that, man. This is a therapeutic channel. I call this the pulse of boxing. You know, we don't mimic other people. We don't really draw inspiration from other channels. It's like this is one of the most organic channels out here. Yeah, I sit and I listen and I watch and I, you know, because I'm a boxing fan. I'm not one of these people that say, I'll never be a fan and then tell you how they sat on their favorite boxer's bunk bed or how they able to call and be on the phone with you. Nobody give a fuck about none of that shit. Don't nobody give a fuck that you can call it. You can sit on your favorite boxer's bunk bed. Don't nobody give a fuck that you can make a phone call and be on the phone in a circle jerking off your favorite trainer or whatever. Nobody give a fuck about that. We care about the sport and the longevity of the sport. Are the fights being made? Are we keeping the same energy for each and every one of these boxers? Are we pushing narratives or are we debunking them? Are we keeping it all the way 100? Are we playing a character online? What are we doing? What are we doing? You know, I so bad because we know it's just like, that's why I tried to say this and I didn't really push it too much, man. It ain't really no new year. It's just a bunch of people trying to act like they turn over a new leaf or they get some kind of false motivation to be more consistent at doing X, Y, and Z because it's the top of the year according to the calendar that we all have to abide by. So that we all in sync with what time it is, what day it is, what season it is. It should always be the season of telling the truth. It should always be the season of keeping it raw and funky. And I was a little late. You know, I was on time, but I was late today. But I was watching that $1 million worth of game with Finesse 2 times, man. And I noticed something, man, across the board. I don't care where you at. I don't care if you down south. I don't care if you in the west, the Midwest, the East. I don't care if you overseas. Real recognize real, and I always gravitate towards authentic people. That's why I was rocking with Oshaki so much, man. Like that's why I was like, man, like you recognize, like when Oshaki went on $1 million worth of game, he held it down for himself. He went in the Lions Den with Stephen Fortune, and he had Gillian Wallow in there. He held his own. I said, see, this is why I like people like Oshaki. They got character, you know. And I was sitting there listening to Finesse 2 Times and watching them, man. It was a good show. It was funny. Gilly funny as shit. But Finesse, I kind of see where he coming from as far as like not understanding the game. Like understanding the game, but then not really liking it and saying, damn, like it took me back, because he kept going into it like saying that basically the way he was looking at it was we all grew up in a certain environment, and we're gonna bring that same mindset into the music business. In his instance, right? He said he was okay. Now we're gonna get the $1 million, and we're gonna do, we're gonna check the blocks to be able to get the money. But like at the end of the day, we're gonna bring our backgrounds into it, and we're gonna be there. He was like, we're not gonna get off. And he kept going back to saying he didn't understand this, how he didn't understand that. Like that's really how I feel about the boxing game. It's like we know damn well when people are gaslighting. We know damn well when people are pushing agendas. What I don't get is that a lot of us, we pretty much share the same background. We are all cut from damn near the same cloth. Some of us don't keep it a buck. I ain't gonna lie. Some of us be bullshitting. Some of us got some flaky characters, but it's always a little bit of flies in the ointment. Everybody got something that's going on with them. That's not the issue, because nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? And I hope I don't try to come off like I'm perfect, but what I'm saying is we all kind of share a certain background. We all come from a certain demographic. So we all kind of along the same line. We all kind of look at things like we know, even when you go back to the things that happened with Tank, the shit he been involved with, we all know that people be lying. Like we know that significant others be lying. You know what I'm saying? We know that people, and we know that in this day and time, people will lie. People will say something strange for a little piece of change. They'll do a little something strange for a little piece of change. Like people are weird out here for the money, and they put a premium on the money, not so much on the character and integrity of things. So I kind of like what Finesse was saying. It was kind of resonating with me, but that's how I look at it in the boxing game. It's like we got people that get online every day. They know they be bullshit. So it's like, just be honest and say you doing this just to get paid, or you doing this just because you want to be in, or you doing this because you like the attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not hard to do. It's not hard to do no soft shoe. It's not hard to like come up and create a character and try to be funny, or like that's not hard. What is hard is maintaining a level of integrity. What is hard is like saying things and holding people's feet to the fire, even when it's not the most comfortable thing to do or say. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where I found myself. That's where I found myself there, because it was a minute ago when I realized, I said, oh, you gotta become a character with this online shit. You gotta do with you, or you gotta lie. You gotta flip flop like Ness and them, or you gotta like be a whole like character out of a book, out of a comic like Showbiz, or you gotta be a comedian where you just laugh, and you gotta have some kind of gimmick in this. It's like, why is all that necessary? Why can't we all just be real and say that boxing right now in today's day and time is just it's softer than bird shit right now? I seen one of the softest interviews I've ever seen in my life the other day watching the Ring magazine. And this proverbial torch that Bud has passed down to Shakur Stevenson, I don't know where the exchange happened. I don't know what the fuck y'all trying to do. I don't know how y'all trying to paint it, but it ain't gonna work. Because the Shakur Stevenson era is one of the softest eras. Like, it's gonna be one of the shortest, softest eras in the world. We act like we can't see, and you know, I try to look at Floyd like he wear different hats, but we know what he doing when he come out and he start co-signing and doing all that bullshit that he be doing with Shakur. Shakur done already slapped him in the face like what 2 or 3 times, like when he didn't sign with him and he chose to go do something else. That man is an opportunist. That man is a master manipulator, and for me, I feel kind of bad because like I used to take up for a lot of the things. I'm like, hold on. When in hindsight, when I look at a lot of things and I be evaluating a lot of things, it's like, hold on, man. You are manipulative, man. So we know what Floyd is doing. So Floyd's gonna be Floyd. It's just like Floyd antagonizing it right before every Tank fight. They always was at odds, or it was always some funky news coming out. But I can judge Floyd. I'm not gonna be like some of these people who just get out here and just hate Floyd for some of the dumbest shit. Like some of the dumbest shit. Like regardless of whatever you want to say, it's like people trying to like hindsight and trying to say, oh well, and do these fantasy things like where they put him and Bud in the ring. It's like we don't know because the funny thing is Bud is older than Canelo. Canelo actually fought Floyd, but Bud didn't fight Floyd. It's like it's wild, man. It's just wild. Like let's not hindsight it. Let's judge Floyd with his different hats. As a promoter, we gotta judge him on it. As a promoter, you know what I'm saying. As a personality, we gotta judge him for that. In that ring, that's something totally different. That's really what the focal point should be. It really shouldn't be on his opinion or the little games and the little things that he do. Like that's something totally different, because on this channel we try to keep it towards boxing, but like all the little shit that he be trying to say, we know what he's trying to do. Because right now it's just like for the short little time where it was the Bud Crawford era, everybody was finding all kind of ways to put themselves in pretzels to try to acquiesce and fit themselves into this lane of being in a circle jerk. It's like, give somebody their props, but it's like we don't keep the same energy towards none of these boxers. So now, since there's been this invisible torch that's been passed from Bud over to Shakur, now everybody's doing the same thing for Shakur and anybody that's affiliated with it, like Shakur, Ray Ford, Clarissa Shields, like whoever's in the active squad. We're actually doing this. It's weird. It's like being in the Twilight Zone. I'm like, what is happening about? Do y'all know that y'all are facilitating the demise of boxing talk if we continue to do this? Let's just stop this fact that a couple days ago it was 2025, and then today, and a couple days ago it turned into 2026. So now we gotta this shouldn't have to be no fake ass changing of no calendar, no dawning of no new year for us to actually start keeping it a buck with what's really going on. Like people are like, we are so thirsty for a boxing star, and none of the things that y'all hold. Now, some of the biggest people, some of the people with the loudest mouth, who have the most to say, who get all these viewers, have all these people coming through, they be saying some of the dumbest shit. And we all watching the same content creators. We all watching it. But a lot of y'all just let that shit just slide. I'm not gonna let it slide. I'm gonna say something to it because it's dumb. We don't even realize that we are facilitating the demise of boxing talk. Like, we are facilitating the demise of boxing talk, y'all. Like, because we can't keep it a buck. We can't just be real. I told y'all the other day when Pop came on and said that he was basically telling his daughter, like, yeah, next time I take you shopping, I'll get you whatever, but you can't say this. Like, his daughter said he almost knocked you out. He almost knocked you out. Like, he's telling his daughter she can't tell him the truth. Like, where are we at? If that's what she saw and that's what her heart was saying, like, yeah, you got hit with a good shot. People try to diminish this. Like, we can go back and look at it on film, but we can't keep it a buck. Then we got the Max Kellerman, the Mike Cops. So I'm not gonna steal my thunder. Miss Coleman, the tag team championship of boxing. Yeah, like it's so soft. I'm talking like them footies with the little ball in the back. Them Care Bears doing the Care Bear stare. You know what I'm saying? That's what that's how soft boxing talk is getting, and that's how the sport is getting, y'all. But I'm not gonna steal my thunder, man, before I actually get onto the blue notes of boxing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna actually do the housekeeping real quick, and we're gonna move right along. So let me get this. So the other day, y'all know I told y'all, right, that Canelo Alvarez was not going to fight Iglesias. So it's damn near like, as soon as the news popped out that, yeah, he could fight Iglesias for the IBF, he was like, nah. Canelo Alvarez has already came out and said, nope, I'm not doing it. Nope. That's why I had mixed energy when Bud actually went up there, hopped up there and won the belt. He said, and I only go by what his camp, with his team, what people are saying, but I had already said, man, I'd be glad. I had already said I was glad. I'd be glad when Bud and Canelo retired. I had already said I'd be glad when they both retired. I kind of take back the whole Bud thing because they passed this proverbial torch over to Shakur, and we're gonna get into that. But like, so in a way, I hate that he did it the way he did it, but in a way, I'm glad. You know what I'm saying? Like, Canelo was the only one left. I just hope he just hang it up. We almost got everything we needed, because if you look at it, they have put the IBF up to where Canelo could actually fight RCC Iglesias, that Cuban that's looking real dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody be ringing his doorbell, coming up there looking for no smoke with that young man. But Canelo's already said no. That's the IBF. Well, Armando Resendiz, he's the one who put that clinical beat down, gave Bodywork a new terminology. Like, give me a Resendiz. That's a thorough, systematic breakdown with heavy body work, no knockdowns. We call that a Resendiz over here. Just give me a thorough, like, that's what he did to Caleb Plant. A systematic beat down with body work, no drops. It's a thorough ass beating. You know what I'm saying? It's not belt to ass. See, belt to ass is a level above. That's what Oshaki did to Stephen Fortune, right? So we got an Oshaki, then we got, that's high level, belt to ass, no drops. This is a high level, you can't do shit. I can do whatever I want. You don't have no answers. You know what I'm saying? Resendiz is a notch below that, but it's still a systematic, thorough beat down. And that's what Resendiz did to Caleb Plant. Well, Caleb Plant had an interim or whatever. And so now Resendiz actually has the full WBA belt at 168, right? And let me speak to this, man. I'm tired of y'all soft-ass dudes out here that's talking boxing and coming up with these soft-ass talking points about how somebody inherited a belt. It's like, when the guy who got undisputed, he had no intention on fighting nobody at 68 after that. It would have been a cardinal sin, because they was always lining him up and say, oh, well, what did they do? They had already had a built-in excuse after he actually won. And I can cite this, but when somebody else won undisputed in these different categories, right? There were always talks about them doing things or defending it, but with this one guy, whenever he won it, there was never no talks about it. And I don't want to make this about Bud. It's just that there's never no level of accountability to actually defend the shit. There's never really no level of accountability to defend it. There's no level of accountability to fight anybody. Like, after you achieve that goal, like the way that people be wanting Tank to fight any and everybody. There's never no level of accountability for these other guys to fight any and everybody that we want. We only keep that energy like for people like Tank, people like Richardson Hitchens, people like that. Like, there's never really we don't ever keep the same energy Errol Spence style. But in a sense, you cannot have it both ways. Because you had no expectation for Bud to fight nobody at 68 when he won to defend it. You was gonna be okay with him just letting it go and dropping it. So why do you give a fuck about who got it? Like, people did the same shit to Boots when he inherited the belt. They was a little bit selective, but if you understand this, when he got undisputed at 147 welterweight, when he beat Errol Spence, when he moved up, everybody who got a belt got it the same way. Let me say that again. When he won undisputed at welterweight, and he moved up, everybody got their belt the same way. I'll do one better. When Jermell Charlo, the Iron Man, one of my guys, when he got undisputed, when he went by and collected each belt one by one by one, when he stepped in the ring with Canelo, when he jumped up and he stepped in the ring with Canelo, he started getting stripped all over the place. So anybody who got a belt at 154 did not beat the man to get one of them belts. So why is there not 1,000 videos about how all them people got their belts? Why is there not 1,000 videos about why everybody at 147, how they got their belts? And how, oh man, well yeah, they got emailed and all. No, y'all pick and choose when it's the right time to cater to a certain demographic out here in this boxing world, the dumbass boxing fans who don't use no critical thinking, who just want to get off and like basically berate and bash people. That's who y'all want to talk to and cater to. Like that's like, we gotta let that go. And I hate to be cliche and saying in 2026 this, like it's no different 2025. No, we should have been stopped this. We should have been stopped, but we haven't. So Caleb Plant had an interim. Armando Resendiz came out of the woodworks, beat the shit out of Caleb Plant, put hands and feet all on that man. He got awarded a belt. Why? The guy who had the belt retired. Why do y'all give a fuck about who got the belt? Because before that, it was just a way for Turkey to get Hamza one of them belts. Well, guess what? Hamza had a choice. He still got a choice. Whether he gonna go the Mbili route for the WBC, or he's gonna go the Pacheco route for the WBO. Well, we know also is Iglesias, he's gonna be up for the IBF. Canelo already said no. Okay, so somebody gonna have to cover down. They're gonna have to figure out who gonna fight that man for the IBF, so we can establish that. Resendiz already got the WBA, so it's based down to Hamza. I like it. You know why? Because it ain't gonna be no extended period of time with somebody sitting around waiting for somebody to pick and choose who they gonna cherry pick. The man retired, just like on Sonic the Hedgehog when they bust open the rings and the rings fly everywhere on like Mario Brothers. If you watched it and you get hit and all your coins pop out. That's what happened with them belts. He retired, popped all of them belts out, and it was like everybody, go eat. Everybody was on the hunt and on the prowl. We're finally getting ready to get it to settle down. So whoever galvanized all these belts is going to be a real undisputed. Why? Because it's a lot of young guys. It's a lot of unknown. And it's I would say that it's relatively competitive at 168. It's the reason why somebody was like, nah, Unless I'm gonna get paid a whole big old bag to get to beat the shit out of the dude who I just put hands and feet on. There's nothing really interests me over there. I wonder why. Because the potential of getting exposed, getting embarrassed, getting beat the fuck up, it was there. You know what I'm saying? It was there. The potential of that happening was there at 168. Why? Because 168 is almost kind of like 140. Almost. So where on any given night, we seen what Hamza Shiraz did to Edgar Berlanga. And Edgar Berlanga, they saying he getting ready to fight Resendiz. So we're going to see. I got Resendiz beating the shit out of Edgar Berlanga too. You know what I'm saying? But we shall see. But like I said, in typical Nello cherry picking grape vineyard fashion, already said no to Aussies and Iglesias. I don't know where he's going to go. I don't know what he's going to do. I put out a post earlier. Nowhere to run to. Nowhere to hide. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know how they're going to politic. They're trying to politic it away. Like, I don't know how they're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? But Canelo got some serious issues, man, trying to get his hand on the strap. You know what I'm saying? He might as well go ahead and hang him up, man. Go ahead and follow suit with Bud. Go ahead and hang him up because there's going to be a whole bunch of politics. And if you're not going to fight one of these young, you know what I'm saying? Because you was giving the guys who you deem necessary, like the Jaime Munguias, the Edgar Berlanga, the people who really didn't deserve a shot. You know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of things, really didn't deserve a shot. If it was nothing that David Benavidez could do, to where people were saying that he deserved the shot, even though we know he deserved the shot because you had moxied all this moxie. You had mustered all this moxie to become undisputed once David lost his strap. If there was nothing he could do to deserve a shot, why would Berlanga, who's never tasted, he ain't never been nothing there, not a there. He ain't never even smelt the belt. So, if it was nothing that David Benavidez could do that would qualify, you know, in the eyes of all the narrative people, the people that had these big channels with these gaudy numbers who pretty much run the sport of boxing and all of that foolishness, you know, if it was nothing that David could do to actually, you know, warrant a title shot against Canelo, there was nothing that Edgar Berlanga did. There was definitely nothing that Jaime Munguia did. You know what I'm saying? To actually garner them a shot. At least, and Jermell didn't even get the respect, but at least Jermell Charlo, even though y'all tend to forget, at least he did become undisputed, where he went by and picked up straps one by one and then jumped up. You know what I'm saying? At least he did something in the sport to deserve a shot. Facts, he never defended undisputed ever. It's like it's his only in every mission. Yep. Crawford did all things at 147. Boots didn't have the same character to make himself believable to get any fan support. Boots isn't an entertainer, believable. Facts, Resendiz isn't no joke. He whooped Jared Hurd like nobody's business. Berlanga ain't no better than Hurd for real. Canelo picks and chooses, but the expensive cherry he picked was too expensive. Crawford made his stomach hurt. Yeah, and I knew it. That's why I said it was age like fine. Bud did his thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, you know, I don't want the message to get misconstrued. Bud did his thing when it came down to Canelo, but the standards, man, and what we keep across the board. So it all worked itself out, because at the end of the day, as crazy as it is, even with him not paying them fees and him actually sending them belts, you know, 4 different ways, it was almost like what you call it, karmic retribution for Canelo. The fact that he chose to muster all this moxie to go get undisputed, and he kicked it off. Nobody want to do this because everybody when it come down to Tank, they always say, oh, the secondary belt, or it was the junior titles and all this other stuff. Canelo kicked it off with a junior strap, and he did that franchise shit. You know what I'm saying? He kicked it off with a secondary strap to actually muster all of that. Because remember, he fought one of his sparring partners. He jumped up there and got Kovalev. Kovalev came out and did a video. He jumped up to 75 at one point, got Kovalev, and Kovalev came out and said he basically threw that fight. Nobody want to talk about that. Then he jumped back down. Then he went back up. He got Bivol, and Bivol said, no, I want to see you again, but if I see you, I'm going to come down there. That way you ain't going to be no excuses. Canelo was like, I ain't no speaking the English. You after that. So we didn't get a Bivol at 68, because Bivol was willing to come down. Like, I'll come down there and whoop your ass at 168. And that way, you know what I'm saying, I can, because you can't just come up there with a built-in excuse that, oh, I've jumped up to 75. But Canelo was like, I ain't no speaking the English. So Bivol didn't get, you know what I'm saying, he didn't get to put his pimp hand down again on that one. But that run, that mysterious run that he did when he decided he wanted to garner all that, he left Caleb Plant at the altar. He spun the block and came back. He wound up sparking Caleb Plant. But he got all that moxie after David Benavidez had lost his belt the second time. So the fact that Bud got them belts and then retired and popped them motherfuckers 4 different ways, it was almost like karmic retribution for Canelo. So it's like, oh, okay, all right, cool. Y'all want to pay me? Y'all want to give me 100? All right, cool. All right, well, poof, I'm gone. Go get the belts. It's like he took them and flung them. You know what I'm saying? Like 4 flip-flops. Like he took a flip-flop and just threw it to the left, and then took the other one and threw it to the right, and then he just flung them belts out and said, all right, go get them. And now the people that they're aligning with him to go get him, Canelo, like, I know, no, I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna love to be a passenger in the game and just sit back and watch Canelo, and hit his stride to tie. And I'm not just totally shitting on Canelo, because he has done a lot of respectable things in the sport. You can't take away from what he's done. I just have been saying for years that he had a great vineyard. Canelo faced Yildirim was crazy, cherry picking, and yeah, Kovalev was definitely Canelo's fluke win. Yeah, he came on and said it. Salute to Modern King Boxing. Salute. All right, moving on to number 2. Murtazaliev could steal the show on the 31st. Because remember, Murtazaliev and Josh Kelly, remember Eddie won that purse bid. Like, and this is where Eddie is coming into play. This is why I was always asking y'all. I have been asking y'all for a while now, for like over 2 years now. For over 2 years now, and this has been the question. Have they been making American boxing great again? I gave them a 3 out of 5 stars, which is not like everybody want to give them 5.5, 6, and all that. And I'm like, nah. He gave us some fights. Yeah, he put some money on the table and got some fighters, got some undisputeds, you know what I'm saying? But like, in the grand scheme of things, 90% of the shit that's getting put on, we don't ask for them. We accept them, but we don't ask for them. But this is going back to Eddie, because remember, Eddie just won a purse bid. He won a purse bid for the fight with Murtazaliev and Josh Kelly. Murtazaliev been out of the ring for 15 months. You know what I'm saying? So nobody was really trying to fight him. Virgil Ortiz tried to say that it was because of the IBF rehydration, which I'm like, I'm already at a point to where, man, if you got to rehydrate more than 10 pounds in the weight division, you really don't belong there. I'm not really going to like kick you in your shit, you know what I'm saying, or really harp on it. But like, let's be honest. Like, if somebody is not fighting for a belt or standing in a certain line, like a lot of people do, like a lot of people wait till they already have a belt, and then they'll try to challenge somebody that has the IBF. Why? Because then the rehydration doesn't come into play. But if you're that's why I always give people who have the IBF a little extra credit, because that means that you're more than likely you're in shape. You know what I'm saying? The opponent's going to be in dog shape. And so at least you know when you go in that line, you're going to get 2 people, especially if they, cut the weight right, if they rehydrate right, if they got a nutritionist and they're fighting in their weight class. At least you're going to get a good competitive fight because of stamina, endurance, conditioning, things like that. So I give those champions, a little extra credit. I weight them champions, the IBF ones, just a little bit. I give them a little bit more weight. I do. I tend to put them in a little higher level, especially when you have that as the single belt, right? Well, Virgil used that excuse, and he used the whole rhabdomyolysis, and I'm like, okay, all right, cool. And nobody else really gonna talk about it, even though I did talk about it. I say that's some bullshit, for real. Even though I like Virgil always been cool in my book. I don't think he's been the same since the rhabdomyolysis situation. You know what I'm saying? Very high knockout ratio, though. He's pretty much done stopped everybody except for Madrimov and Boachuk. But he used that as an excuse, and Robert Garcia came on and said, oh yeah, if it wasn't for the 10-pound rehydration, we definitely would do it. I'm like, nah, man, we're not buying that, man. We're not buying that. And it's bittersweet because, a lot of people were high on Murtazaliev because of what he did to Tim Tszyu, but nobody really see him smacking the shit out of Tim Tszyu. Was Tim Tszyu had some PTSD? I'm sure he did. But Tim Tszyu does a thing. Tim Tszyu is one of them guys to where he will reach in that cookie jar over and over again. He will try to come in that front door. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get caught reaching for that cookie jar. If you can recognize that he's going to keep doing it. Tim Tszyu is one of them guys. He's probably one of them kids that you couldn't just tell him, yeah, that stove is hot. It's like, no, Tim Tszyu is going to touch that stove. He's going to keep touching it and touching it until he get burnt. And that's what happened with Murtazaliev. He kept coming right through the front door. Murtazaliev was just hooking off on him. Bow. Cracked him. You know what I'm saying? This was right after he got hit in the head with Fondor's elbow on accident and got his shit cut open. And it was almost like he got hit and he thought, you know what I'm saying, he thought he was cut and he wasn't. So he did show a little PTSD. People stocking Bakram did go a little bit high on that. But then a lot of people used it, like, because you got to think, Boots he had the IBF and he had the WBA and he had the ring. And he could have just kind of skipped the line. Like, he could have got with the sanctioning bodies and moved right on up and got Murtazalia and got all the glory. Much like Leon Paro did when he actually went ahead and beat Sabril Matias. He was like, oh man, he defanged the boogeyman. And I think Puello, he kind of defanged the boogeyman and Gary Antoine, but that fight was a lot closer than the Leon Paro versus the Subriel. Like, you can pretty much, it was almost like a coin toss, even though I had Puello, you know what I'm saying, edging it, you know what I'm saying, like, I could clearly see it, you know what I'm saying, like, it was definitive in my book. It was just a pure boxer, had a better night, had cleaner, more effective work. But Leon Paro got a lot of credit for defanging Subriel. But Richardson Hitchens didn't get as much credit for defanging Leon Paro. And I believe if Murtazalia is to get beat, it's going to be one of them situations. Where somebody who we don't think is going to beat him because they're going to go in there and going to straight up box him, you know what I'm saying, surprise him, maybe take advantage of him being inactive, something like that. They're going to get a lot more credit than the next person. And I'm thinking, man, I was like, man, with where Boots was in his career, what better statement where you're not taller, longer, stronger, faster, higher IQ, more athletic, better corner, home field advantage. Like, where you don't have all these advantages. Why not go ahead and get it on with Murtazalia? I was like, man, that's the Rocky story. If he dies, he dies. That's the Rocky story already. That's just add water. I've already been, you had the IBF. Why not move up and do it? He didn't do it. Virgil Ortiz didn't do it. That's why I say people pick and choose when they want to say, oh, legacy, oh, this is about legacy and this is about belt and all this, because Boots want Virgil so bad. That's another guy that's tailor-made for him. Come forward, flat-footed, pressure fighter. Boots gonna smack that shit out the park. Murtazalia ain't like that. He's not just a pressure come forward fighter. He could be patient. He could fight on the back foot. Like, he can crack. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some unknowns about him. He should have got the glory. But guess what? Josh Kelly's going to step up. He's going to get the job done. And Eddie won that purse bid, which is interesting. Why? Because Eddie hasn't had a good history of winning purse bids. You know what I'm saying? He didn't win that purse bid when Karan Chukajan had got that purse bid. He didn't win it. He let it go and then had to pay more money just to get it. Just to get the fight back over there, you know what I'm saying, in Boots territory in Philly. But guess when they fight? They fight the same night as Shakur and Teofimo. So Murtazalia could steal the show. So on the same night when these two get it on, that guy right there, the second guy from the right, he's going to get it on with Josh Kelly. And I don't have a picture of Josh Kelly up here, but he could steal the show. And with his style, and if he stopped Josh Kelly, now Josh Kelly going to have to be on his bike. He's going to have to be opportunistic. He's going to have to stick and move. But Josh Kelly got stopped by, he got knocked out by, what's his name? The guy that Bud fought and the guy that, Avanesian. David Avanesian. Josh Kelly got knocked out by David Avanesian. So, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know that Xander surprised me with his boxing skills. He negated some power. He was able to move his feet. You know what I'm saying? With Josh Kelly, you know, in the heightened sense of danger and this whole, you know, Bakram's, you know, reputation preceding him, his senses could be heightened. He could do something to where he go in there and he just box circles around Murtazalia and he, you know, makes Murtazalia, you know, capitalize on the inactivity. Even though I don't think Josh Kelly's been the most active, for real. He did get back in the win column and all that, but like, he hasn't been the most active. And he could get in there and box Murtazaliev out, but if Murtazaliev still is holding on to that ability that he has, he hasn't lost a step, you know, and he's been staying sharp and fit and in shape and just sharp, and then, you know what I'm saying, measuring 1,000 times so he can cut once because he's been waiting to cut his teeth and he come out there hungry. He could smack the shit out of Josh Kelly and steal all of the highlights, be all on everybody, you know, be the talk of the town, just like when he smacked the shit out of Tim Tszyu. He could steal the thunder of that night, you know what I'm saying, on the 31st. And the last one, man, Eddie sold Boots a dream. Eddie sold Boots a dream. What do you mean, Mike? If you listen, I'm going to tell you, right? A lot of people, I see a lot of people, man, like people pretty much remix the same show. They keep doing the same show, basically trying to just shit on Virgil. It's like we should really be past it, because, you know, we got to get over this, man. We got to get over this in today's day and time where we don't recognize that certain boxers have certain fan base. Those fan bases that they have afford them the opportunity to get away with things that other boxers cannot get away with. What do you mean? Isaac Pitbull Cruz, he has a fan base that's going to support, that's going to come out. You know, first of all, is one of Manny Pacquiao's fighters, so he got that backing. Second of all, he's from Mexico with a hardcore Mexican fan base that you can capitalize on. You can count on to show up and show out. You can count on to buy tickets to show up and show out and support that guy. So he can get away with. This is why he keeps getting opportunities. I can use another one. For a while, that guy Jose Ramirez, yeah, the guy who got washed by Arnold Barbosa prior to Devin doing the Devin Haney on him. Prior to that, Jose Ramirez had turned down more title shots than most boxers ever get an opportunity to have. Why did he do that? Because out there in California, he had a fan base. So whenever he go and he put out tickets, they were actually going to buy the tickets and show up, and he's going to go out there regardless who's on the other side, because he saturated his target market audience out there where he lived at. He can sell. Ryan Garcia, he has a fan base that affords him the opportunity to do things that other boxers can't. Think about this. Tank knocked out Ryan, stopped him with a body shot. He sparked Frank. Until Frank came back and sparked somebody, people was like, oh man, he's a bum, he's this and that. And Frank was one of the nicest guys out there. Think about it. He beat Harvatunian before Shakur did. Matter of fact, right before Shakur did. Eureka. Dropped him. Eureka. He beat Virgil in the amateurs, since it's okay sometimes to talk about amateurs, and sometimes he beat Virgil in the amateurs. But guess what? Off of a 1-year suspension for not citing his supplements, not having fought, Ryan Garcia get a higher payday than everybody else. Then he get a title shot right off the rip before everybody else. Why? Because he has a fan base that will afford him to do things that other boxers cannot do. Virgil has a fan base that will afford him to be able to do things. Now, Virgil's not this kind of guy. I think that they know, the camp know that that's a very tough fight. They know how unforgiving boxing can be. And it's going to be very hard for them to corral all of the critics that's going to write all of the articles if Boots is to go in there and do the same thing that he did to Romain Vigla. Come forward, pressure fighter, flat-footed fighter. The same thing he did to Montes Stanionis, even though Stanionis is one of my guys. Well, he was one of my guys. I don't like the fact that he didn't come out of his corner. He should have came out let them throw in the towel, do it. But that's, I'm not gonna hold that against him. Another, what I'm saying, not the most nimble guy, but he's a pressure fighter, high volume, goes to the body. Thought he was rough, rugged customer. But if Virgil is looking the same way that Romain Villa is looking, he looking the same way that Monte Stanionis is looking. You got Boots at another weight class where he can hydrate, be more of himself, don't have to deplete himself. They know that he part more than likely because he's tailor-made for the style that Boots like, the flat-footed, come-forward fighter. Tailor-made like a tuxedo. They know that that's not a good matchup. So what are they doing? They're trying to maximize their leverage. You got Oscar De La Hoya. He's trying to get as much coin that he can for one of his golden boys. Think about the mindset that he had when it came down to Floyd Schofield. Even going into the Shakur Stevenson fight, it was already made. It was already done. This is before Schofield and them got tapped on the shoulder and played sick. Dog ate my homework. I can't come in today. Before that, Oscar was on record so many times saying, no, he got plenty of time, I mean, I wouldn't rush it, I mean, he has plenty of time, now I want him to take his time, listen, I ain't been a champion. I know how to build champion. Like, he's doing the same thing. You got to think about when Ryan finally said yes to Tank. Remember, he pulled out of the fight the first time when he got on Mike Tyson and said that God told him he was going to knock Tank out in the first round. Yeah, he played the mental health thing or whatever, and he went away for a little while, and then he came back, but he had to finally tell Oscar, like, no, I ain't making this fight with Tank. He had to tell Oscar that. They already know what they have in Virgil. They saw what Bodywork was able to do with Virgil. We sat there and watched Bodywork beat Virgil. We sat there and watched Bodywork get beat down by Brandon Adams on the Canelo undercard. So he know what he got and he know what he doing. He know he got that audience down in Texas. He know that he can probably parade Virgil around, set him up. We saw what he was able to do with Madrimov. And he already knows the biggest elephant in the room is that he has the interim strap to fight for Andorra. He just got to bide his time. But you got these dumbass content creators going to come out every week, twice a week, trying to label and try to shit on Virgil, trying to shit on all of them. It's like, no, if you had already made it to a spot where all you got to do is sit right there, you might have to take a little fight. You just fought. You just got a name better than anybody, like on, dare I say, on the other guy, the guy that's trying to fight you. Dare I say a name better than his on your resume already. You just got him and stopped them in the way they made it look. You got that in your back pocket. Virgil and them, his team, they already know what they doing. But you got dumbass content creators that's going to come out and try to make it seem like Virgil is doing all this ducking and all this. Is it a strategic duck? Maybe. But is it the business of boxing? Possibly. That's what I'm leaning towards, the business of boxing. But Eddie was the one that was managing Boots. Eddie was the one that told him to just pop. Like, you know how Martin said, run real fast right now. Like, yeah. Just pop up the 154 right now, unannounced. Just jump up there, man. No matter, you Boots. I got you. What happened? He get a llama beans. Nobody wasn't satisfied with that. He didn't use his leverage. He didn't use his WBA to get in the line with Abbas Baru. He didn't use his leverage with the IBF to get in line to fight Murtazaliev. So Kelly getting Murtazaliev. Xander Zayas is getting ready to get Abbas Baru. And Boots is just sitting around being a wallflower saying, I want Virgil, and it's not gonna age well. It's really not gonna age well. I don't know why you don't just go ahead and get them to muster up some money to get you a Charles Conwell, get you a maybe you get a Gino Perez, the one who Xander just fought. Go get somebody. Go get somebody that might have a threat, somebody that's like that where you don't have all the advantages, even though you pretty much got the advantage over damn near everybody there. But we just got to see the matchups. But it don't look right that Eddie got this man standing up there and he's using social media and the internet to allow the fans to do his bidding. And I hate when he do this. Like, don't have the fans doing your bidding. Don't have the fans out here doing all. Don't have Greg hacking and all them and Jamil and YSM and all them out here doing your dirty work, doing Eddie's dirty work. Why? Because he sold Boots a dream. It is no way and it's no way, no how at this point in time, Boots is still sitting around waiting on a fight. I thought you were the commodity. Because if Tank got online right now and said, who want to fight me, you going to have, it's going to be more motherfuckers lined up. You going to be thinking they're giving away government cheese and another stimulus check. There's going to be so many people. So if you were the commodity, people would be lined up to go fight Boots. And with Eddie managing you, this is like this whole, oh, they want too much money. We can't let them keep getting away with that. That's a built-in excuse. Why? Because in the grand scheme of things, you're not fighting them for a belt. And you dropped your straps to move up. You gave away your leverage. The same thing that the same thing I said, everybody didn't hold because everybody don't keep the same accountability. But when Keyshawn dropped his belt on the scale, and I had to, you know what I'm saying, go in on him, the same way Shakur, he gave up his leverage, he dropped his belt before he moved up, and he did what he did. He weight bullied Kensei Seattle and all. The same way that happened. That same playbook where Keyshawn would get ready to try to do that to De Los Santos and weight bullying, like that same playbook. You just voluntarily just drop your leverage. You had 3 straps. You had the ring, the WBA, and the IBF. Just let your leverage go to jump up to fight who? Nobody. I blame Eddie. He already got you as a known commodity. He already sold the media. He who controls the printed page controls the thinking of this age. He already got the media doing your bidding, saying that you're the heir apparent to Bud. Like you the next Bud. He already sold he already got the media putting it out there to where the fans are actually co-signing this shit that you are the new Bud. The heir apparent to Bud. It's already sold. We already know you can sell out at home. You can sell out up there in Jersey, Atlantic City. I was there. I was in the building. Me and my lady, we was in the building. We saw it. We witnessed it. So I blame Eddie. I say you and the team, y'all instead of having everybody, instead of y'all getting online saying, oh man, this dude ducking and that dude ducking and y'all pointing all these fingers, y'all need to be pointing the finger at Eddie. Why? Because how long are we going to sit up there? Because think about it like this. Tank don't get no slack for that shit. When it come down to Tank, think about this. When it come down to Tank and Shakur or whatever, when they say, oh man, he didn't want the $6 million or whatever it was. Never rub up against another man's rhubarb. Never really be concerned about another man's money. I don't. But this is just out here. This is what's floating around. Tank don't get no flack. They say, oh man, Tank should have to make it happen, man. He should come up with the bread. What's the difference between Boots? I blame Eddie, man, because how long? Like people ain't gonna get in there with Boots for 2 chalupas and a curly fry. They're not gonna get in there for a Happy Meal with an extra toy to get in there with. No, they want some bread. And then with the whole, oh, you want 2 tune-ups, the whole 2 tune-ups thing, the whole thing that Turkey said was like, oh man, you caught me when you want the big fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you said 2 tune-up, and it was looking like you was going to get, because you got Lima, which was a tune-up. But now you going for Virgil, but Virgil don't got no belt. He got that interim strap, and it'd be foolish for him to fight you, knowing that he next in line for Fundora. All you got to do is wait for the verdict of him and Keith Thurman. And he in there like swimwear. So I blame Eddie. When are we going to start pointing the fingers at Eddie? When are we going to start pointing the fingers at Turkey and them? Saying, hold on, Turkey. You said big fight. Oh, what? Virgil ain't a big fight? I thought you was Moneybag Yo. But you signed with Eddie. So Eddie got to take, because Eddie is a master at procuring American talent and then making them, then position them over there to use him as he see fit, and it always be some bullshit. We get some Karans and some Limas and some Avanesians, and come on, man. He sold Boots a dream. Let me get back over here to these comments. Eddie's like the slickster salesman who comes to the neighborhood to sell you a vacuum that works only in the local home. Its commercial value was all limits, but the only one suffering is the vacuum. They finna lose their zone deal over Virgil. Yikes. The belt boot doesn't allow a champion to move up for the belt. No, but when you've been representing, Boots had that IBF out of all the champions. He was the first one to get a belt off of Bud. And when you got those kind of, like, listen, when you got, put it like this, there was a reason why Jose Ramirez kept getting offered the title shots. Now, whether or not he was taking them, it was a reason why. Why? Because they get a percentage of the purse. So no, you can negotiate. I'm not saying it's an automatic thing, Kenny Max Payne. I'm not saying it's an automatic thing. What I'm saying is you could, with him having a relationship and having that belt around the waist, you could petition to the sanctioning body and they will more than likely allow you to be able to do it. You just got to clear it with them. It's not automatic for sure. Like, you can't be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go do this. Like, no, you got to petition for them to do it. So you don't care about belts. So we'll see now. You don't care about belts. Okay, so that means we shouldn't be getting. That mean when it comes down to this fight, Kenny. That mean when it comes down to Devin and this guy on the far left, Crocker, Davy Crocker. Then, like, he shouldn't even be going over there for no Davy Crocker because don't nobody know this dude. If that's the case. But I know we pick and choose when belts matter and when they don't now. Don't get me twisted. Don't don't get me started, because we pick and choose when belts matter and when they don't. They don't allow petitions at all. So you can't put in, come on, man. Come on. I think you're using semantics now. I think you're using semantics now, but you can put in paperwork to the sanctioning body and let them know. Let them know that these are my intentions. I want to move up. I would like to challenge this person and whatever based on the ranking systems or whatever, and let the sanctioning bodies come on now. That happens now. And you're right. You're right about that tank. That's the Cold War. It's like I'm always this is the number one fight. I'm always, until Shakur say he's done with that division, I always want to see Tank versus Shakur. I'll take any combination of any of these fights right now. I'll take any combination of it. Bring it on. I'll take it. Let me get down to the meat and potatoes, y'all. What did Snoop Dogg say? He said, "You like the Blue Notes without Harold Melvin. You'll never go platinum, man." These are the Blue Notes of boxing, man. I know it's going to step on a lot of people's toes, but listen, man. I'm looking at the weak-ass promotion. I'm looking at these interviews. I'm looking at these narratives. I'm looking at the fact that Shakur can outright put it out there saying that, oh, I want to move up after this. First, one of them is, oh, after this, I want to drop the belt to allow Keyshawn to fight for it, which that's not how boxing works. That's not how boxing works. Then he says, oh, I want to jump up to 47 and get the same deal that Conor Ben had with Chris Eubank. I want that same thing with Conor Ben, and then come back right around and say, but I'm really a 30, I'm really a 100, I'm really a lightweight. I'm small. I'm too small. I'm really a lightweight. It's like, I don't like the precedence of it. I don't like the fact that they're using the Ring magazine and all their little cohorts and all their little henchmen, the Max Kellermans, the LaShawn McCoy. LaShawn McCoy don't know shit about boxing. One of my favorite guys, I'm an Eagles fan. We lost to the Commanders today. That shit sucked. But we didn't have any of our starters in there. But as long as Dallas ain't doing shit, I don't really like. Hey, that's the second best thing to win in the Super Bowl. In my book, so but I digress. They allow LaShawn McCoy, excellent, one of the best running backs to ever lace him up. Cut back dangerous. They used Hot Seat Malik Scott, and Mike Cappinger to do these weak ass videos, these weak ass interviews, asking all these soft ass, reach around, knee pad wearing, throat coat spraying, tonsil jewelry displaying ass questions to these dudes. You got Keyshawn coming out, standing on top of a car, talking about he's changed. I've changed. No. Change is not a mere, like, yeah, it would help that you confess with your mouth. And then you proceed with action. Yes, that would help. That would help. But change is not just saying I've changed. Change is actually like doing it in your actions. Showing it in your actions. And there has not been enough time for you to actually display and show that you've changed. You could very much, and I hope you have. I hope for your sake, because it's obvious that you'll fall apart, man. If you're not getting the bag and they're not keeping you active, like the military would have done somebody like Keyshawn a lot of justice, man. The military, man, like that discipline, like it would have done, but they allow, because I always call them Batman and Robin. They allow Robin to get away with doing a lot of he's doing coattail riding etiquette. I would have to say the same thing for Ray Ford. Like, when the last time you seen Ray Ford headline a car? When the last time Ray Ford was at the forefront of a conversation and not the backdrop? Like, the shit that Shakur did, man, like the way he used, it was like he used Ray Ford like a stiff arm, a roadblock for Shakur. And these guys, Keyshawn and Ray Ford, are actually showing coattail riding etiquette. Like, we could do a whole book on how to coattail ride etiquette off of somebody like Shakur. Great fighter in his own right. Don't get it twisted. I say he's the definition of my boxes to watch. Perfect form. I say this all the time as a disclaimer. He's in my boxes to watch. He's one of my favorite fighters outside of Tank. I don't like the moves. I don't like nothing he say outside the ring. I'm one of his biggest fans. When they say ding, 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 that's when I'm one of Shakur's biggest fans. I do not like this shit that they did where they act like Bud has mysteriously handed off this torch to Shakur and he just gonna take, like, what has he done? And now we're in the era where, like I always say, they get so much of the benefit of the doubt thing. Aren't y'all past this whole benefit of the doubt thing to where they could just say, like, I ask people all the time, and I know I have some Shakur only fans in here, the people that just love some Shakur, or they anti-take, and so they default to Shakur. And since they don't like Shakur, but they might think Keyshawn's a little bit more exciting, then they default to Keyshawn. Or because they know that deep down inside, like, at a point in time they had to do this because they didn't know where Devin was, and it was a great migration, and somehow one way or another Shakur kind of inherited some of the fans. Keyshawn kind of inherited some of the fans, and some of the fans kind of doubled back and they ran back to Devin. Why? Because they can't respect the shooter. They know who that guy is, but because they don't like that guy, they do this. You know what I'm saying? Because they never keep it on code when it comes down to Tank. It's only when it comes down to certain people what they want to do on code. And I've seen right before I came online, I seen somebody did a video a couple hours ago or yesterday. I just seen the thumbnail. I don't know why it came to my timeline, but somebody came out and was just like, they hope Shakur Stevenson beats racist Teofimo. I'm like, see, this is what I don't like. Do y'all notice that? Did y'all notice when this guy when this guy pretty much fucked himself up? When he was the ambassador and he showed his ass and he crashed out and he did all that shit with De Los Santos and Blue Wade and he do all of that all of that other stuff. Do y'all recall all of the methods that they were using to advertise and promote this guy? Heavily promoted with the race card. Heavily promoted with the colorism, with the whole, oh, you light skin. Heavily promoted with colorism and racism. And now, because I said that when it came down to this guy, people don't really know how to promote him. Why? Because to sell, what are you selling them on? You selling them on, like, you either got to sell them on he's the next best thing since Floyd, which him and Floyd they're not in the same conversation. Defensive specialist, yes, but that's what the ball stops right after that. Defensive oriented, but Floyd was not a safety first fighter. Floyd was a defensive specialist. Shakur is a defensive specialist, but Shakur is a safety first kind of guy. So because you can't sell him, and because he has all these affiliations with the people that he has affiliations with, you gotta pop shit out your ass like using the race card. Because when I was saying, no, we gotta nip this shit in the bud with Teofimo, it's nothing to see, he's a clown. We can't allow it. We can't allow it, right? And everybody shot me down. Everybody was saying, oh man, you overreacting, you doing too much, you blah blah blah. I said, okay, all right, so we're gonna let it go. Just now, since the fight been announced, I've heard this race car shit come up more than ever. And I'm like, why? It's because you really can't sell the guy. You cannot package him up and sell it. There is no way. Well, I know how to sell him, but his OnlyFans don't know how to sell him. So what? They got to resort to doing whatever they see or whatever feels good. They go to a channel, they hear it, they'll get somebody that'll rebel rouse them. You might go to one of these race baiting channels, because they are race baiting channels. There are channels like, listen, peep this. And I'm not the biggest Clarissa Shields fan in the world, but there are people that they don't give a fuck about Clarissa Shields. They're not even the same. They don't even share the same background as Clarissa Shields. But whatever happens with Clarissa Shields, they're the first one to put out information. When Teofimo Lopez was saying those things and using those antics, they didn't come out and chastise the dude at all. They was with it. They stayed quiet. And you know, the goal and the mantra of this channel is silence is consent. So they are race baiting channels. So you'll go and listen to one of these race baiting channels, right? And you'll say, hey, I'm a Shakur fan. I want to talk about this fight. Well, how am I gonna promote it? And you sit down and you brainstorm. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna make this. Because why? They know that we tend to deal with low-level energy. So you come out and you pull the race card, especially in this today's day and era, you can get a whole lot of black folk to get on board with you if you pull it out. The thing is, it's not applicable. Why? Because it makes no sense that Shakur Stevenson would afford this man a paycheck if he really felt like that. And this kind of style that Shakur has, it's not the kind of style that you can say, all right, well, I'm going to have you be the one to go in here and enact discipline upon a Teofimo Lopez. So long story short, what I'm saying, and long story short, we need to knock it off. We need to knock it off. It's not the way to promote Shakur. Shakur is a defensive specialist. The way to promote him is saying, listen, the dude is untouchable. I guarantee you Teofimo Lopez is going to have a hard time trying to corral this guy, and he's probably going to get embarrassed. He's going to look off balance, and Shakur is going to be able to toy with him. And it's with the amazing feat, or the thing that always captures a fan when they're looking at a Shakur fight, is Shakur's innate ability to be able to make his opponent miss, regardless of how effective or how strong that puncher is. That's the way you sell Shakur Stevenson. It's not you don't sell Shakur Stevenson through the media with all this glazing, all this fanboy, all of this proverbial. I don't know what this is that y'all doing, but it's soft, and y'all allowing Keyshawn basically allowing Keyshawn and Ray Ford to ride coattails. And at this rate, man, without no accountability, without no, like, because listen, if y'all allow, and listen, this is the other thing, y'all allow, I want to mention this, y'all allow Devin Haney to set precedents too. And this is one of the things that I be saying too. Because everybody will point out the fact, like when the shooter, because the shooter said a long time ago, this guy, he came out and said, I want that motherfucking bread. He been saying, hey, you can keep that belt. I'll whoop your ass for free. Well, not for free, but I'll whoop your ass. You can keep them belts. I just want the bread. Y'all said, in y'all own words, in my terminology, y'all basically was saying that Tank set precedence. Why? Because he was saying, oh, I'm a money fighter. I'm a prize fighter. I fight for that bread. I want the biggest fights. I want the best fights. Okay, but that was Sean DePaul when he said it. We fast forward now to the days and time what Bud do with the belts. Keyshawn come out after he get a belt and say, oh, listen, man, I don't really want to be undisputed, man. I just want the big fight. Y'all allow Devin Haney to jump up to 140. He got smacked by Ryan. He get his dub back. He jump in there with on a catch weight with Jose Ramirez. And then he jumps up to 147. And because he pulled it off, he don't catch no flack. But what was he able to do? What was he able to do? This dude basically, what he did was this is what he did. He leapfrogged over all of these cats, all of this competition. Now we can't say, what I can say is there was, because of this guy, we gotta be right and exact. We're not gonna be like these other creators who just be putting shit out their ass. They don't justify anything they'll say. But because of this guy, the sugar daddy, right? Because of that guy, I can say that there was a contract for the guy on the far right. Now, the guy on the far right, he chose to not take it. He said he wasn't taking no pay cuts. He said, nope, we had a deal. I remember the Alcatraz stuff. I remember he had a 3-fight deal. I think they were saying, it's crazy how they say Devin had that three fight deal for $36 million. But I want to say that that's the same numbers that they said it was for Tio. I want to say that was the same numbers. Now I think about it, that's the same. That was a 3-fight, because it was coming out to be Eureka, a $12 million, $11 million, $12 million. So he would have took it to fight Boots, but Boots said no. Then he said, all right, well, well, give me Devin, and because Ryan fucked up the apple cart and he lost to Rolly, knocked everything off Azimuth, that forced Devin to not have a dance partner. And so that kind of messed up everything on the pay scale for everybody. Why? Because Devin needed a fight. They had to get him a fight. Tio said no, because you're not gonna give me the same money. I'll do it, but like I want what I was supposed to get, regardless. Like that was my deal. I had a deal. And then, he said some things that was insensitive to Turkey. That's their business. You know what I'm saying? Shakur said some things that was insensitive to Turkey too. He shrugged it off. But I can say that Devin did have a contract where he was willing to fight the guy on the far right. Outside of that, they allowed Devin to leapfrog everybody in 140. All of these guys. Between 140 and 147. Leapfrog all of these guys. Just completely jump over all of these guys. So guess who he set precedence for? Guess who he set precedence for? He set precedence for Keyshawn. Now, how the hell can Keyshawn fight a guy? Okay, first of all, he fought the Eliminator, Gustavo Lemos, coming off of a loss, moving down, out of shape, to Richardson Hitchens. Him and Richardson Hitchens, they went tooth and nail with each other at 140 for Eliminator. He moves down. Keyshawn sparks him. He gets a Baranchek who made Navarrete look pedestrian, even though we know Navarrete is just a weight bully. Even though Navarrete beat the shit out of Valdez, which prior to Williams Zepeda, that was, it's arguably between Jamel Herring and Williams Zepeda. That was Shakur's best win. But we allow him to get a belt off of Baranchek at that point in which he stopped saying Tay name. Then he was getting ready to clean up some of Shakur's work with De Los Santos. He blows weight, gets into a fight, has this whole meltdown debacle in which this young man had to come save the day. But nevertheless, he sits down, he does his time out. He takes his time out, he gets himself together. He was supposed to get a fight. Now, he would have had a shot. And I don't know in what world, this is why I say I don't understand this era. I don't know in what world is it acceptable to where he can outprice himself for that guy who has the IBF, which would have told us everything. That would have been the benchmark for whether or not he was on weight, in shape, because he would have had the 10-pound rehydration. We know that Richardson Hitchens is a skilled pure boxer. That would have answered the question. But he gets to outprice himself with asking for an observant bag. No pressure for that. So you get to forego that. But we give him a Jermaine Ortiz fight. Well, the Sugar Daddy does. The Sugar Daddy gives him a Jermaine Ortiz. And he's saying if he is to get past Jermaine Ortiz, guess what he's going to do? He's going to jump up to 147. So did we not allow Devin Haney to set precedence for this? Did Devin Haney set precedence for this? Well, he get to jump over. He get to say bye-bye to Cruz, because that's never going to happen, because I don't know if Cruz ever going to go to 140. Frank Martin, who they was having all this jaw jacket, Frank Martin looks tremendous. He sparks the shit out of Barthélemy coming back off of a knockout loss to Tank Davis. Get to jump over him. Get to jump over all these guys to go up to 147. Now, some of these guys are 147. A Liam Paro is there. A Tiger Johnson is there. A Rohan Polanco is there. A Speedy Rashidi Ellis is there. A Tito Mercado, he's still at 140. Nicholas Flowers is there. So there's some names at 47, but like the people that we really wanted to see for Key, since we can't get a Shakur, we couldn't get an Andy Cruz. He talked that shit to Abdullah, but he knew that he was going to go up to 140, up in the way. So he wasn't going to get that. We not going to get a Tank. Did he set precedent? So y'all see why? Do y'all see why I arrived at this conclusion that these guys are like the blue notes? And what can we say about Ray Ford? Ray Ford used to be one of my guys. I used to support the shit out of Ray Ford, man. I used to say he was the Cobra in my boxers watch. He used to let his hands go very fast, very accurate. He would let his hands go. That Nick Ball fight changed him. Ever since then, he got onto this whole I'm a ride. Like I guess I always knew about Batman and Robin. I didn't know it was like a Batman Robin. Like how many people can Shakur take up under his wing? He got cousins. He already got like legit family members that's like going to be up under his wing. He got Zay Quinn. He got all the family he need. But ever since Nick Ball, Ray Ford, he ain't been the same. Like Ray Ford ain't been the same. I saw him fight. I was at that fight in New Jersey. I was at that Atlantic City fight. And that guy named Matisse, not Matthias, that guy named Matisse, like it was rinse, wash, repeat. He didn't take no chances. He didn't put belt to ass. He didn't do this. He didn't put on the clinic like this. But it's okay for him to say, it's okay for him to just chase Oshaki and say, I want Oshaki. And it's okay for Shakur to pawn Oshaki off on one of his guys. And it's okay for Shakur to live in the shadows of Bud Crawford, who passed the proverbial torch down, but like they don't have the same style. It's not the same level of excitement when you watch him. And I can watch a pure boxing and look at it. Like if I was at that fight and I was watching Shakur fight when he was fighting, I wouldn't have been one of the people walking out the ring. Because I'm one of the people to where, as low intensity as it was with the Brian Norman and Devin Haney, I could appreciate what Devin Haney did to Brian Norman. Would I like him to get more active? Yes. Would I like him to take more chances? Yes. But to see him make Brian Norman look like that, I was like, damn. I was in awe and in shock. Like every round after round saying, damn, like he really got this dude not having no real answers, not knowing what to do. And Brian started coming on late, but like he really made that man put his hands in his pocket. I was impressed. I could watch that. But to say that Shakur is the heir apparent, like, nah, man, there is no Harold Melvin in this situation. These are just the blue notes of boxing. That's all these guys are. Shakur, Keyshawn, does he have the potential? Yeah, but he's gonna pick and choose. He's gonna pick and choose his career, and then he's gonna get in there, and he's gonna have his back up against the wall, and he's gonna really have to take a tough fight, a fight that, like, because this could be the fight with Jermaine Ortiz. Because I believe that the technical boxer is Keyshawn's weakness. Easily baked. Bodywork. Salute, Easily Baked. I don't like it, man. If this is the Shakur Stevenson era, and this is what we're going to allow, the Inglorious co-sign, to where Max Kellerman said it, and Bud said it, and Tim Bradley said it, and Andre Ward said it, and then Clarissa Shields said it, and Mike Coppinger said it. And Malik Scott chimed in on it. But the Ring Magazine came out and did an article. And everybody up there in the YSM gym and their whole family said it. But then on fight night, we get in there and all we really see is Shakur do the same thing that Shakur's been doing, which I've accepted that. I've accepted that a win is a win is a win in Shakur's book, and he's going to be one of them guys to where at all costs he's going to do the Bud Crawford, he's going to do the Floyd, he's going to protect that O, and he's going to fight in a way to where the same way that Devin Haney did when it came down to Brian Norman, he knocked him down. He arguably, I think he busted his nose, or I don't know if he broke it, but he busted his nose, and then he played keep away. That's what we're going to get with Shakur. And then everybody's going to have to take a class, and you're going to have to be told that you don't know shit about boxing because you can't appreciate the sweet science, and it's really about hit and not get hit, and how, y'all just want people to stand right there in front of Shakur Stevens. It's like, no, we want to be entertained, bro. We appreciate the fact that, yeah, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Salute, Crush. Salute, my man. Appreciate you for stopping through. But yeah, sometimes we know that you got to do what you got to do. Things happen. Mr. Gary Russell, he had to do what he had to do when it came down to him and Mark Maxayo when he was hurt. He had to do what he had to do. He couldn't step on the gas the way he wanted to and try to get the man out of there. He had to fight in a way that... So we got that. And you had that against De Los Santos when you had to do what you had to do. You had a hurt. You had a bad phalange. Okay, cool. Tank had to do what he had to do against Isaac Pitbull Cruz that time and he had a hurt hand. But every performance is just one of them things to where we just got to do what we got to do. I feel like that in most cases, Crush. It don't matter, but I love the way, but you know, when you let certain people drive these conversations out here and they be like this whole thing about Devin going for Crocker. It's like, why is Devin going for Crocker? Oh man, because he want to be undisputed. Oh, okay, so y'all hide behind the fact that he's going for a guy like that now because he won a belt. Okay, cool. So belts matter in that situation. But belts don't matter when it come down to like the big fight. Like I mean, people just gonna pick and choose. Cause it don't. You're right. Belts don't matter. Like when it come down to Boots and Virgil, everybody act like that's for something. Like no, but Virgil he's in line for something. He's in line for Fundora with that belt, that interim strap that he got for Fundora strap. But we pick and choose when we decide that belts matter and when they don't. But if it was one of them things to where like if I could rock with what Keyshawn is saying in regards to I want the big fights, because he went on that after he won that belt, he went on this campaign just to say, oh yeah, I just want the big fights, man. Like look, man, that undisputed stuff, I don't really care about it. I just want the big fight. I'm like, okay, cool, that would be fine if you were dead set on just going for the big fight and not just the guy that you thought you could match up well with to beat and win. Okay, cool. Because then you're making a business decision. What's up, AC?
What's good, bro? What's going on?
What's happening with you?
Nah, shit, man. Just enjoying my day. Let me let this shit pass real quick. Yeah, bro. This whole situation has gotten me in a weird place. I just wanted to look at the T.O. and Shakur fight and just kind of like rock with whatever. I just thought it was a really good fight. I didn't want to pick any sides and stuff like that because in my mind I could see it happening. I could see both guys winning. I like the energy of both guys, so I was just like, yeah, I want to try to keep it there. So as I'm looking at it and looking at the narratives and everything, it just started to just fuck with me to the point where there were these narratives that T.O. won't be able to hit Shakur not one time. Like Shakur's just not gonna be there. He's gonna be on some, Pi May shit, to whereas, when you even try to reach out to him, the slightest breeze, he just floats back. You feel what I'm saying? Like the Channel 5 Kung Fu movies and shit like that. So that's the part that I was just like, wow, y'all really gonna think like that? And then it's, no, he's too much of an elite fighter. Teofimo Lopez is not an elite fighter. He hasn't faced anybody that's elite, and Shakur is an elite fighter. And I asked the question, who are the elite fighters that Shakur has faced? At least tell me one. Just tell me one. And I don't get an answer. It's just you're hating and stuff like this. And I said, okay, in this era, we're going to go by lineal champion, right? The man who beat the man. Teofimo did that twice. He beat Lomachenko, who was the man, and he beat Josh Kelly, who was the man. Shakur's lineal belt was, he got that fighting Oscar Valdez. Y'all was supposed to start a new line, a new thread. You lose that in your next fight. The thread is gone now. We don't have a lineal champion at 130 pounds. So you had it and then you lost it. Not in the ring, but to the scale, to your own devices. Tio lost one of his lineal belts in the ring to George Kambosos, who then Devin Haney picked that lineal belt up from. And then Devin Haney just drops it. So now the thread has to start all over in 2 divisions because of what you 2 guys are doing or did. So the point I'm making is when I look at what each guy has actually done, I try to keep it where it is, but the fan of me is looking at the technical guy and then looking back at each one of these instances where the technical guy just got beat the fuck up. Going into the fight, people were like, nah, he's gonna destroy this dude. We just saw this, this and that, and this and that. And then the technical guy gets in there and gets beat the fuck up, just roughed up. I think Teofimo Lopez knows that about himself. So it's making me feel like I may start to edge more towards Tio, although in the recent days, I picked Tio to win the fight on different channels. But this is one of those things that you might definitely hear me flip-flop, but it's not going to be a flip-flop to where I'm moving back towards a unanimous. There was no doubt in my mind that Shakur wins this fight. I can't do that. That part of me just looks at it and I can't do that. Where I'm at in his moves and how all of them are moving. You know, the Bud Camp, the Bud Troop. It makes me feel as though we're looking at something that we remember from high school, the cliques. Oh, this is the clique. That's their little clique right there. It's all of them. They all come from they all around the same hood or whatever, but they all clicking. Or they all ride the same bus, after school bus. So they all ride the same after school bus and they ride the same bus to school, so they all click together. And that's what it makes me feel like. And sometimes when I look at cliques, what tends to happen is the clique protects itself. The clique brings everyone out to try to talk and give you this perception that they're strong. You can't be beat. You fuck with this dude, you gonna get it. Bud was big bro. Andre Ward was Unk.
Yeah.
So when you look at the dynamic, you got Unk, big bro, lil bro, and then lil bro. You feel what I'm saying? And big sis. So at the end of the day, man, it's just the type of thing that tells me when you have cliques like that, sometimes it exposes who's really built like that in that clique. Because when I catch you one-on-one, now you ain't shitting without your mans in them. The fuck's up, homie? Yeah, we had a school right now, the principal, and nobody could get us.
Yeah.
What's really good, homie? You feel what I'm saying? And for me, I've already seen that with Keyshawn and how Frank Martin pressed him.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it in how Africa pressed him.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it on this little dude. He's named after a piece of military hardware. And it's one thing that the military prides itself on. They even named it after a hardcore general. And this is one of the badass jump offs that it was ever made. The color, the whole nine. They could put different raps on the shit, but when this thing comes through, it has a distinctive sound and a distinctive rumble. And when that thing spit, boy, if you ain't got on earplugs, fuck around and bust your eardrums, knock you the fuck out from a concussion blast. So the point I'm making is the height and size difference between this guy and Oscar Valdez is 1 inch in height and a ½ inch in reach. But there was no issue with you really wanting to get in the ring with Oscar Valdez. But this dude is just a little bit bigger than Oscar Valdez, but you don't want no parts of him. But everybody keeps screaming, this dude don't want to fight him. And old boy put in the chat, I want to see these two guys get in the mix. Well, tell your mans to come through and sit the fuck down. If you really want to prove to everybody you that guy, yeah, fighting T.O. is one. Fighting this dude right after T.O. or calling this dude's name out in the ring right after that and say, yeah, I'm going to talk to my peoples. We going to make this fight next. That'll let everybody know, like, whoa. Yeah, he really trying to take that Bud spot. But I'm not going to give it to you just because they trying to set that shit up. I've been there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got something else to add to you. Add to this. In which it's really going to make this fight interesting because let's not go by what I say. Let's go by what this man says right here. A guy who we recently got, who we really substantiated what belt to ass really is.
Yeah.
Now, it's a reason why that guy is so confident when it comes to Shakur Stevenson. And you said something beforehand in regards to Teofimo Lopez. And I think Teofimo Lopez understood this too. But see, this is one of the things to where this might have been one of the things to where since you like to spar so much and you be thinking you getting the upper hand, somebody else was doing their research on you when you was sparring and they was actually putting something in their rucksack for you as well. Because this guy right here on the left, who we say put a surgical belt to ass. And Oshaki says that the thing is with Shakur is because I'm like this, and I start thinking like, damn. But I think I got more than I got good power in my left. But I'm a southpaw, but I'm right-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Shakur is a southpaw, but he's right-handed. I think Andre Ward. What's Andre Ward? Was Andre Ward Orthodox? Let me make sure. Well, check that out because I'm gonna put it like this: Tank is a southpaw, but he's left-handed. And a lot of the times I know you hear like Coach Kenny, like if you a southpaw right, they'll do this. Like if you a southpaw right, probably like myself.
Ward is orthodox though.
Okay, so Ward is orthodox, but I think he's left-handed. So it's the complete opposite of what Shakur is. So even though he's orthodox, meaning left-handed in front, I think he's left-handed. Shakur is southpaw, right hand in front, but he's right-handed. Tank is a southpaw, but he's left-handed, meaning that okay, yeah, he could fend you off, do the jab, and do all of that with the right, but his power is going to be when he bring it home with that left. Shakur, since he's right-handed, he's more powerful with the right. That's already in front. So if you get past that, this is what Oshaki has come to realize, especially since he has the reach. If you get past that, he's not able to do anything with that front right hand. He's right hand dominant. Like, I ain't saying you don't have nothing to worry about with the left, but you're already past the biggest danger, which is the right, because it's already in front.
So
he said, because if you look at it, he said he don't never really hurt nobody with the left. He could control shit with the right. He could hook off it with the right. The right is more powerful. So if he catch you up front, because you ain't used to most people being their front hand, like being front hand dominant to where they can crank. That's why that's the danger of a southpaw, especially a right-handed southpaw. Because I know if I catch you with a hook for being right-handed in the southpaw, I'm gonna hurt you. But I got decent enough power with my left. I don't think that I'm like that much weaker with my left, but I have more control with my right, and I use that in front. Like, I'm weird like that. Yeah. But Oshaki says he realized that when Shakur be fighting, since he's right-handed, but he's a southpaw, he don't really hurt nobody with the left. He don't really do no real damage with the left. That may be something that Teofimo has found out.
No, Teo been found that out.
Fighting southpaws to where, okay, the right, they gonna control you with that, but you really gotta look out for. You can't be like, all right, I'm past that and I'm at home, or I'm in my safe zone. It's like, no, you still gotta be expecting that. He might have figured out that if you get past that right, or you get that right hand in position of like where it's more in the defensive and it can't be as offensive, he don't have to worry about the left more that much. What you think about that?
Teo, two things for you. About 3 weeks to a month before the fight was finally announced, it was a little before they was at that boxing thing, and they both came out with Max Kellerman and all of them right there. Teo was on an interview. I don't remember who he was talking to, and the dude had asked him about, the potential fight with Shakur. He was like, yeah, I want to fight Shakur. I just think right now this is.
You went out. You went out for a second, AC. AC, you went out, man. Yeah, let me ask y'all until AC, because I can't hear AC. But let me ask y'all, man, what do y'all think about that, man, in the comment section? Oh, go ahead, AC.
Yeah, my bad. My internet fucking up. But basically, I was saying like this. Teo did this interview. He was talking about this. He felt it was Shakur's time to lose and stuff like that. And the dude was like, "Oh, really?" So he said, back in the amateurs, you and Shakur ever mix it up? Like y'all ever get in a ring or anything? He was like, yeah, we sparred a couple of times. Probably did like 3-4 minute rounds or something like that. And he was like, the first time I sparred him, I was like, that jab is amazing. Like his lead hand, he was like, it was amazing. Said the second time, but getting towards the end, I started to learn how to get past it. Then he said the second time we got in the ring, I got past it, and that's when I realized he's fooled. That's why I'm saying he's ready. He's right to lose right now, because once you get past that, he doesn't have anything for you. And I was like, oh shit! If I find that clip in my in my history on YouTube. I'll send it to you. So it's a real short. I mean, I don't know how long the interview is, but they just clipped that part up right there. When I heard that, I was like, oh, then this dude knows something about Shakur. I don't think Shakur realizes that he knows. And then every boxing breakdown that I've seen of this fight, that I've seen so far for this fight, everybody talks about Shakur's lead hand control. That's his best weapon because he sets everything up off his lead hand control. And as he sets it up off his lead hand control, what he uses the backhand for, he'll probe you and then shoot it down. And then as soon as you open up, he comes right back with the right. Boom! Catches you with the hard shot. Or he'll probe you with it, go downstairs with the stab jab. As soon as you come down, boom! Like a hard, stiff jab type, straight type thing. Or he'll double it up, a jab to an immediate hook. And the way they was breaking it down, I was like, yeah, that does look extremely impressive. And yeah, I can see it through every one of his fights. And once he starts to systematically break you down like that, then he figures out you can't stop that and you're not getting the timing on it. Then it's the front foot pressure, and then it's all downhill after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So really, in essence, that means whenever he's in that shoulder roll, he's super vulnerable.
Yes.
And
that's what the boxing breakdown have shown, that listen, when he goes in that shoulder roll, his probing hand is in a position that can't get over to catch him enough. So what he relies on is he'll hop straight back and then lean over to one side or the other to try to create the exit.
Yeah, so and I think that's something that De Los Santos might not, because he bluffed the shit out of De Los Santos. But like, I think if De Los Santos would have known that he's a right-handed southpaw, and he had a bad phalange.
With me, when the couple of times I played around, with the PAL boxing, and then I hooked up with my pop's best friend who was in boxing and everything, and trainer and stuff like that. The crazy thing with me is I'm right-handed, but my left hand is stronger. You feel what I'm saying? And when I choose to punch, like if I'm in a martial arts stand, I put my lead hand, the power hand, forward, and that would be normally your lead hand. So I learned how to fight my style of Taekwondo using my right hand. But when I want to throw power shots, I switch to the left. The right is fast and hard, but the shit that will sit a person down is when I shift to my left. And I could fight from boxing, I learned how to use my left as my jab as well, and then hook. So it's like I can deliver a knockdown blow, not a knockout blow, but maybe a flash knockdown blow with either hand. So a person, if I was boxing back then, they would have said, yeah, he has equal power in each hand. He could put you down with either hand.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's something when I asked Joseph Brown about, he was like, yeah, I'm in that same category. I was like, oh, so you're going to be a problem. That's why I'm going to be watching out for Joseph Brown, because he has that same type of physique, or I don't know the right word to use for it, that type of ambidextrous power. So I want to see it when he gets in there. For me, part of me, when I look at the same situation I was talking about with how Shakur's placed them and how the click can kind of expose certain things. the way I feel about it is Ward, Clarissa, and Bud are like the realists. Shakur, you still haven't got me 100% sold. You know what I'm saying? But for me, this fight right here, you win this fight and you make it look the way the general public is chalking it up, the way Vegas odds is placing the fight. I'm gonna give you all the props in the world and be like, yo, you bad, you that dude, bro, because you went up there and you beat the man who was the man, and you beat him and you beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? Boring or whatever. I'm not gonna say he beat that man as boring. He ring generalship is also controlling the spacing and controlling the pace. So for me, if you go in there and you're able to take away the pace that Tio wants to set, and you make the fight be fought at your pace, first round to the 12th round, I'm giving you those points and saying that was a master class in controlling the fight. That boy's mind is, don't listen. That boy's mind is someplace else. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's whoever can control that pace is a person who's going to be able to do their thing. And no, I was going to say, and that leads to who has the ring IQ and the physical attributes to pull off what they need to do to win this fight. And that's where I land that plane right there.
I'll put it like this. I think what it's really going to come down to, with all this analyzing, and it's going to be whether or not Shakur can hurt Tio. Because I remember seeing Padley. In there with him. And if Padley would have been in 8-week, 9-week training camp shape, he wouldn't have got stopped. And he was actually taking what Melazar be saying, he was assimilating.
Yeah.
He was absorbing Shakur's punches very well. And what he said, what it came down to was the shots to the body that he just couldn't take. He wasn't conditioned for it. I mean, he was working. He was training part-time and he was working. He wasn't even in like fight shape. So I'm thinking that's interesting. With Shakur moving up, we seen the difference in power. We seen it both ways. We seen Devin look like he had a little more power going up there to fuck with Norman at 47 at his true weight. But we seen Tio go from 35 to not look like he had the same power at 40. Tio was saying that he's finally adjusted and now he's kind of comfortable. It took a while for him to get comfortable. And so now he feel like he's fully comfortable. And I don't know if Shakur can hurt. If Shakur can't hurt Tio, because you got to look at the kind of fights. Okay, Sandor Martin is a pure boxer. I think Sandor Martin will give anybody problems. I think that's the reason why they didn't really want to pop out that extra money for Devin to get in there with him. Sandor Martin, he arguably beat Puello, and we know Puello is a pure boxer. Sandor Martin just can box. Like he can box, right? He knocked Tio down twice, but he did it with a finesse style. But if you look at somebody like Claggett could take a punch, but he was rugged enough and rough enough to where he had more than respectable power. Like, because Tio wasn't just going in willy-nilly, just like eating that shit. Like, I'm just gonna take gonna take 2 to get mine off, like some tank shit. Like I'm gonna take these 2 so I can land mine. He wasn't doing that with Claggett because Claggett can thump. You can see it how he was busted up and all that. He actually had more than respectable power. If Shakur does not have the kind of power, like more than just enough to keep him off, he's gonna be in trouble, bro.
Yeah.
Because Tio knows that he like, hold on, man. I seen what Zapata can do, and they saying I can't touch this dude. But if he get Shakur to moving around and he get to touching him, especially if he do some body work, if he incorporates some body work in this game plan and he don't go in there like a bull in the china shop like he did with Kambosos. But see, I don't even think Shakur has that same style as a Kambosos, and that's what made Kambosos so dangerous. Because Kambosos is a little feisty.
Yeah,
like where he's going to take chances. Like that's what made him a little, like, if there was such thing as the danger that he do have is the fact that he's feisty and that he is going to take chances. He knows he's going to have to try to get his off to hurt you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What I liked about Kambosos and what still has me a fan of Kambosos is he's twitchy in his counter punching. He'll get you to react before you even moving in for your shot, and after you react, he'll let you pull it off, and boom, he catches you. So I've always liked that twitchiness and stuff like that. And I always say like this: the minute people sleep on Kambosos is the minute that dude beats your ass. These guys honestly know that you got to be laser focused and you got to go after Kambosos in a way that you just never give him the opportunity to feel comfortable. Because once Kambosos starts to feel comfortable, he will let them counter punches go, bro, and you gonna walk into something. Because when you look at when Tio started to make him feel uncomfortable, Tio had him doing things that he wasn't doing, that was actually having him win the fight, and then Tio caught him. You feel what I'm saying? And then Kambosos goes back to his corner and he kind of rides it out for the rest of the way, knowing that he might be up in the scorecards or whatever. But to a certain degree, he never stopped trying though. So I got to give him that. I got to give him that respect. But when you look at how Loma beat him and then Hitchens stopped him, they never gave this man, and Devin Haney in his 2 fights with him, they never gave him the chance to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's where I give Loma his respect. I mean Kambosos his respect. And Tio, I think this might be another one of those occasions where he just comes out and just shows everybody, hey, I'm here, I'm ready. You know, you guys can keep putting these guys in front of me that y'all telling me is the best, but my unorthodox style, my one loss, whatever, I don't give a fuck. You know, that's why I fight the way I fight, because I really don't give a fuck. I ain't afraid to lose no more. I'm not afraid to be a prima donna or afraid to get hit. That's one other thing Tio mentioned. He was like, this dude hates to get cracked. So when I crack him, it's gonna be, you know, I'm like, yo, this fight might be a lot more competitive and interesting. It might be. But I'll let what's the name come in and chop it up.
What's up, Isaiah?
Yo, what's going on? First time listener, been listening. I don't think Tio is gonna be able to crack Shakur how people think he is. I mean, Shakur fights on the back foot the whole time. He don't got no head movement. I've never seen him go left, right. I've never seen him duck a punch. When he fought Zapata, he didn't do none of that. He just stood in the pocket, wanted to please the people. He clearly outboxed Zapata. And I don't believe Zapata was punching like they say he was. You know, Mexicans got that style where they do that high output, overwhelm you, and then, you know, all them punches that you overwhelm. What do? You drop shell, boom, you get knocked out. I don't think Zapata was punching like that. Padley was unconditioned and went 9 rounds with Shakur. That's wicked. That's wicked. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Shakur. I like him in the ring. I don't like who he is outside the ring.
Join the club.
It just blows my mind that Shakur, how he talks the talk, and then he tries to prove a point to the people when somebody who I consider him a 7-8 pound for pound in my list. Easy. And the reason why I don't have him top 5 because he's not a finisher. And he's one of them dudes that he likes to play with his food. I love him because he doesn't get hit. I just don't like the fact that he jumps in and he's like, oh, I'm gonna knock this guy out. I'm gonna stop him. Shakur, don't do all that. Just fight your fight. The stoppage will come 100% if you do not say you're gonna stop him. I don't think Tio is gonna be able to touch him. I think this is gonna be a fight where it's gonna be you come to me because Tio got the same kind of style like Shakur. I don't know if y'all seen that sparring that they had, but that shit looked like a 80-year-old chess match. You know what I mean? Like 2 old heads at the park on a Saturday morning, just they hesitant to move. You know, so they just move in the pawns, and it's a pawn match. It ain't even a queen, no knight, no rook, nothing, no bishop. So I feel like Shakur could win, and he's gonna win. And he might win in a fashion like how he did De Los Santos. But that's just my take on it.
Yeah, I seen your comment, and I was being facetious when I said he took the torch. Like, everybody is saying that he did, but like when HT said join the club, that's how we feel. We are both fans of Shakur when they say ding ding ding. Outside of that, and I spent some time for a while defending them and defending some of the things when people was coming at him, unjustly, but like over time, I just started not liking the moves, and I always say the handshake ain't matching the smile when it comes to Shakur. He say a lot of things, and then he's a safety first fighter, which ain't nothing wrong with it. It's good for him. But my fighters are not safety first fighters. Like, my fighters, they take risks. They take chances. Now, they calculate it, but they are going to be willing to do whatever. They're going to be willing to do something to change the complexion of the fight, to overcome something, to like make it not like some knockdown, rock'em sock'em shit, but like to like take control of the fight, like to impose their will. They're going to flip a switch and do something. All of my guys do that. They're not just going to be, oh, a winner's a winner. Oh, as long as I win this, they're not like that. Their mindset is like, no, I'm going to end the contest myself. And that's what
they go out and take the chance.
Yeah, like Bud. Like, that's why I say, like, trying to live in Bud's shadow was not going to work because Bud had a style where he could do that.
Yeah. Bud, man, Bud's a different animal, bro.
And these guys are not Bud.
Like, yeah, you hit Bud, you fuck around and do something in there with him, he gonna get mean and he gonna fuck you like Tank guy.
Yeah,
like,
Canelo cracked him, and then he wanted to get in the exchange with him.
And he did.
He got into the exchange, and then he goes back to the corner, and Bernie, what's the name, is telling him, nah, you don't. Bomac is telling him, nah, you don't need to exchange.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
He's the type of dude you got to reel him in because he's ready to turn it up, to 10 in a heartbeat. So at the end of the day, when this is one of my issues of where I think people have this thing twisted about Shakur. I don't believe Shakur is a back foot fighter, not at all. He's a defensive fighter, and that doesn't mean he needs to be on the back foot. That's like someone telling me Crawford is a back foot fighter. When you're facing a heavy puncher and stuff like that, you want that space. Sometimes you want to create the space early on because you want to see certain things. But when Shakur is Shakur in the ring, when you look at it, and you can go all the way back to Jamel Herring. When Shakur is Shakur, he's on the front foot. He'll give you the lateral movement when he's creating those exits. He's one of the best guys to create an exit and then catch you on the way out of as he's leaving that exit, and sets himself up to whereas now after he created the exit, it's an exit that somewhat turned you, and he's right there waiting for you. So as soon as you come in, boom, 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 and he can just move off again.
I'll give him that. He got good distance control. So to me, I kind of see it off the back foot. You know what I mean? Just because of the range, and he's tall too. So you know his arm's long as hell. So he's in there. He's not giving you what you want. And I think it goes down to the patience. I think with him, he's mastered the craft of being patient. When he went in there with Zepeda, I think what happened was he felt the punch power, and he said, "Oh, that's all this dude has," because they kept saying, "Oh, Zepeda's he's a monster." That's how he was painted. So in reality, he had 30 plus fights. So what are we gonna say about Zepeda? Is he a 30 plus prospect? You know what I mean? Because he ain't even have a championship. But that's the style that Oscar De La Hoya likes to groom his guys. You know what I mean? He grooms his guys, especially the Mexican fighters, and I've seen it with Munguia. Same thing, groomed, a lot of fights. He got that Canelo fight. What happened after that? Sarase clipped him.
Okay, so let me put you on to this. Shakur Stevenson, right? Shakur is 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. He got a half-inch arm reach over Tank. So he's got probably average arm length to a guy that's 5'8". He hasn't cracked 70, which will probably make him look like he has long arms or long reach. So, just with that, it's, his body type and certain things about him, maybe the general public are giving him more attributes as far as his body and things like that than he actually deserves, because people see an image that's larger than life to them, an image that seems to dominate. So sometimes you think of that person as much bigger or whatever than what they actually are. So
I'm gonna tell you what it is. He's been his arm reach, aside from a short, I think Nakatani, or Nakathia, and maybe Robson Conceição. Outside of that, he's had that arm reach on people. And then his punch selection. His punch selection will make him look, because since he's a master at distance, he'll make you miss by a half an inch. But then he knows how to deliver the punch better, so it's more effective. So it makes him look like his reach is like that. But let me give you something interesting. This is what happened with Zepeda. Zepeda did a terrible job at being repetitive. See, Shakur is one of them guys to where, a lot of boxers are like this, but like some people have a faster processor to where you gotta mix it up. Like, you can't do the same thing with certain boxers. Like Tank will knock you out. If that pattern recognition, you do that too much too early, they're like, okay. He might mess around with you for a little while. He might figure it out and then let you get real comfortable. And it's like, okay. So when he delivered his shot, it's like, it might not be the most power, but it's the speed, the timing, and the accuracy of the punch to where he knocks you out, right? But see, with Zepeda, what he kept doing was, it was a point in time when I seen him, he had Shakur on the ropes, and he threw like 20 punches, it looked like. But they were all the same way, and he didn't care if he was really hitting them. You can't do that.
He wasn't even.
You can't throw the same. It looks good, like on like it's one of them things where, just like how some stoppages look at the end, when you go back and you look, and you be like, damn, he hit him a lot. But then when you go back, it was like, it wasn't really. Like, he might have threw like 9 punches, but only 3 of them really landed. You know what I'm saying? Zepeda was doing a lot of that. So when he was going down to the body outside from that time when he actually caught him, he was throwing the same punch.
Yeah.
It was like he was, and it was like hitting him right on the. It was like okay, you can't hit him here, and then hit him here, and then maybe hit him here. It's like no, once you throw that punch, you know you got to shoot between these two, so it should be up in here in the middle. He was not adjusting the punch, and his corner kept telling him. He said, "Listen," he's like, "You letting your hands go." He's like, "But you got to go in the middle." He kept saying, "Hit him in the middle," like they were trying to tell him go to the body, but like basically hit him in the bread basket.
Yeah,
and he was not adjusting the punch. He was just winging the same punch over and over again.
They was also telling him to step to the side when he throws that Philly shell and then throw the punch, because his shell had his face completely exposed because he was covering his body and the other hand was over his face. And he was just trying to lean back over it. And I was like, oh my God, bro, if these dudes just know how to pivot like Bam and fucking Loma, this dude would have got the shit cracked out of him, because the weak Philly shell is what got him caught the second time after the first punch almost rocked him. Then he goes back, he steps over to the rope and he goes back into that weak Philly, and then boom, that punch just catches him. Zepeda never made the adjustment to realize that and say, oh, that's how I deliver that punch, because he's wide open with that lazy ass shell. So that's what that was. But on the stats though for this fight, Tio is a inch taller and has a half-inch reach advantage. So it's going to be interesting. Physicality versus, defensive skill and stuff like that. I give them both a nice ring IQ. You feel what I'm saying? So I personally think Tio is going to catch Shakur with some shit. Part of me is like, am I gonna see a flash knockdown? Because if you do that weak Philly shell shit, I think they may recognize it, and Tio has that ability, to do those little side steps and pivots like that and throw the punch in that at the same time, because he did it with the last guy he fought in Manhattan. He was backing up, came in.
Barboza?
Yeah, Barboza, and then he slid over to the side and caught Barboza again. Bop, 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 bop.
And he was hurting Barboza. He was hurting him.
Yeah.
He was hurting him, but I don't know what. Tio got good. He got good footwork, good angles. He's good. I just think he needs to get rid of his pops, because like his pops is a good trainer, but I seen a video and his pops was like, yo, why you're not moving fast enough? What are you doing? Instead of being like, yo, look, do this way. Because I kind of see Tio telling his dad, like, yo, dad, chill. Like, you messing up the money. Like, stop. Like, just stop. And I'm just like, damn, is his dad? I guess maybe, like, I don't know if y'all heard that story with Keyshawn when he punched him, when he punched his dad.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
I think the same thing happened in that gym. And I don't think Tio's racist. I just think because you see, racism comes in the home. So he learned that from his pops, 100%. I don't even think Tio knows how to be racist, I just think his dad is racist, and his dad said something funny. And they always say, Keyshawn and Shakur always say, yo, how come you didn't get that back? Because he knows his dad was wrong. His dad probably said some racist shit. Behind the scenes, we don't know. They don't talk about it. But I think it was more than what it is, and I think Tio needs to get someone else or get a second trainer in there and tell his dad, yo, look, you be second in command. I got to do this. Because this fight is going to be, like, this is one of the best fights of Tio's career aside from the Loma fight. But if Tio is sparring that one YouTube Dean the Great, whatever his name is, Tio is cooked. He's done for. Because I don't even know why he would consider having this buddy with him in camp. And it's like, bro, really? You got a YouTuber in there? Like, are you not taking this serious? Shakur is sparring Keyshawn. And I'm sure Keyshawn punched harder than Tio. He getting them ready, so we'll see.
I don't know about that one right there, but I'm gonna say this: Tio has the ability. Well, Tio understands the art of the mind game, the art of making people believe one thing while something else is actually going on. Devin Haney just did it with Brian Norman because Devin Haney showed us just this one move. And I kept on, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know why you keep showing this one thing. You know what I'm saying? And it was the check hook and then get the fuck up out of there. Time the check hook and then get the fuck up out of there. I'm throwing a hook. Those are the only punches you've seen Devin Haney do all the training session. Other than that, you see him doing these the pad drills where they all of that stuff. So then when you get to the fight, the first round, he clipped him with the check hook. Boom! You seen Brian Norman freeze up. Second round, he caught him cleanly with it. Boom! He froze up. Was stanky leg. Devin Haney dropped the 1-2 on him, sat him down. Okay, now I see why you was working on that. That was the one punch you was working on that you just look at a dude and say, you mad big, or like when people describe, you know, when you locked up going in the dorm or the tier, get the tough dude and you just crack him. Wow!
Yeah.
All right. Now you done shook his whole confidence. Like, what the fuck? You feel what I'm saying? Now you
choice.
Pick him apart, because in the back of his mind, he's thinking, "Yo, is this nigga? Is he setting up that punch again? If I come in, is he gonna time my shit like that again?" And now you just ride out the wave. Brilliant strategy. I didn't have to beat you. I let you beat yourself. And all I did was just glorified sparring match with you after that. But you beat yourself as soon as I dropped you. Yeah, that's what it was. You had no answer because I took away your confidence with that one shot, because you didn't expect me to deliver it and get it off like that in the first round and in the second round. Brilliant move. Okay. Does Shakur have that ability to do that to Tio? I've never seen that ability. I've seen him have some ability to put together combinations that make a motherfucker scared to throw a punch. But it's like, if I throw this one punch, he gonna come back with like 5 punches. I haven't seen that dude. Even in the Zepeda fight, you was letting him go, but it was still a certain level of caution that I was seeing.
Yeah, like I don't like the narrative of what he did to Zepeda. It's like I'm like, did we watch 2 different fights? I mean, and I don't think he's going to do that. He can't afford to do that same thing. He can't afford to be stationary Shakur. I think Shakur is going to be the typical Shakur. Like he's going to it's going to be he's going to rack up points. He's going to be opportunistic with the punches. He's going to wait for Tio to make the mistakes. And once he get up, he's going to play keep away. It's going to be up to Tio to make this fight. It's going to be up to Tio to actually to use full aggression, but to rely on landing the bigger shots throughout the round, because there's a lot of film on Tio, like from what Sandor Martin did, what Jermaine Ortiz did, and maybe later on a little bit of what Loma was able to do later on in the fight when he had his success. So Shakur's gonna try to implement all of that, but like I think Shakur's not gonna. Don't look for no fireworks in this fight. If you do, it's gonna be coming from Tio.
He can't. It's gonna be dangerous for him. I feel like he knows what's ahead of him, and like AC said, he can get cracked. And if he gets cracked, we're gonna really see how his chin holds up. Because from that Zepeda fight, I mean, damn, bro, If them ropes wasn't there, I feel like it would have been a knockdown with that jab. And I just think it was the over stimulating all them punches, and he just got hit with one he did not see. But Tio not like that, you know. Tio got real power, so just one of them things. If he backs him up, but I mean, Shakur got that distance control, so this fight's gonna be boring in the sense of you hit me, all right, I'm gonna get that back.
Yep.
So it's gonna be a crazy chess match, and man, I don't know, bro. I just hope that it's not. I just hope it's not like the De Los Santos fight where he's scared to just get in. I feel like he got to take a risk this fight. If he doesn't take a risk this fight, Tio is the champion and he is moving up to 140, and that's not how you beat a champion. You can't beat a champion off of the pity pat shit. You can't just, oh, he hit me, I'm gonna hit him back. That's 1-1, 2-2, 3. Like if they play that fight, that shit might even be a draw. But I know Tio's gonna do his best to try to cut him off. But I don't know. Like, I mean, Shakur's just that good. His IQ is immaculate. He's not about to let Tio just box him in the corner. I don't think he's gonna do that. A lot of people don't like Shakur, but I'm gonna say how it is. It's just facts. Shakur got good IQ. But whether we like him outside the ring, he got good IQ inside that ring, and he's proved it time after time. And
But for me, part of me feels like if I'm not seeing, I put it like this: the realest possibility for me now is looking at a draw, because throughout the last, let's just say from 2024, every good 50-50 fight went one of two ways. It was a landslide or it was a draw. Every time we matched these guys up and had to nitpick and stuff like that, it was either a landslide or a draw. You feel what I'm saying? So Shakur controls the tempo of the fight and things like that. Shakur easily wins this fight. Tio makes the fight ugly, beats Shakur up, frustrates him, makes the ref do his job. Tio wins the fight. But what if it's a technical match? It's a draw. That's the best outcome. Somebody's going to win the first half, somebody's going to win the second half. And then there might be some rounds in between the first and second half. Either one of the guys pick up. We may see the fight differently and say, no, it was more technical, and I gave the technical edge to this dude because he was controlling the tempo. But I gave it to this guy because every time he connected, even if it was one of them body shots and shit like that, you could hear that shit and you could see how it was affecting. It's going to be one of those type of things for me. And the more and more I really, really look at it, the subconscious me is saying, man, this shit's going to be a draw. It's too fucking close. It's too close. And then the other part of me says, Shakur controls the tempo, he wins. Teofimo beats him up, doesn't play the game, make the ref do his job. Don't go in there like Rambo, but you do this shit strategically. Give me a Rescindes on Shakur. Teofimo wins this fight. So
you already know they given the first round to Tio. It's especially if it's a fill out round, they given all them rounds to him. If Shakur don't go and try to get it, I feel like you said, they could give it to Tio. But that's gonna be all up to Shakur, just because, I mean, I get it, it's two champions. But does it apply when somebody from a 35 champion is moving up to the 40 division to take that belt from the champion? You know what I mean? So a lot of politics at play, and I don't really like to get political, but that's just a fact, and I don't want to see that. I want to see something clean. I mean, Shakur champion, so I feel like they should give him that same respect going up to 140 and not just, oh, Shakur didn't do nothing this round. Okay, we're giving it to Tio. Okay, Shakur only threw 10 punches. Tio threw 12. Or even then, because sometimes it can go, Shakur might be throwing them jabs. Tio might only throw 5 punches. Shakur probably throw 8. Oh, we didn't like the way Shakur looked. Oh, we giving it to Tio. And then it goes, 6. Shakur gets 6 rounds, or he gets 5 rounds, and Tio get the rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've always said like this. When there were fights that, to a certain degree, I could see both sides, there's one thing I have to say. Just like all the cooking shows I watch and many other competition shows I watch, judges have preferences. That's something I think is a real thing for me. Some judges have preferences. They look at things, they appreciate the technical thing, but they may also give a little leeway to the guy who's pressing the action. I may not connect as much, but I'm pressing the action and looking like I want to fight.
Yeah, let me see, because we went over this, but I'm gonna ask Isaiah this. Let's just say we see the same fight where we seen Tio and Jermaine Ortiz. Who gets the nods? Who gets the nod?
Damn, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I thought Jermaine Ortiz beat Tio.
Exactly.
But like I said, the politics.
Boxing. Yeah, it was the business of boxing. That's what I say. So you in line with how we think. So I'm asking in this situation, if we see the same thing, who does the business of boxing want to win this fight? Is the question.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think they want Shakur to win, so they could pack Tio up. He's been doing a lot of bullshit, but since Tio the champion, he got a loud mouth, and he's not gonna let that go. So I gotta say, it's because, man, Jermaine Ortiz, man, he put on a good ass fight too, and I had him winning, man. Like that was the first time I've seen Tio frustrated in a long time. He couldn't even get him. And Shakur's way better than Ortiz. Way better. So yeah, I mean, I want them to, I guess they're gonna give the nod to Tio. On a sense of he already acclimated, like you said earlier, Tio said he comfy at 140. Shakur just moving up, and he's already saying he's going back down. So I guess they're gonna give the nod to Tio, which I think is wrong. But it's the politics of boxing. Unless it's hard, man. It's hard because Tio is from Florida/Brooklyn. Kerr is from Jersey. So you know what? If I'm being honest, I feel like they might just give it to Kerr. They might just do it to Kerr, just considering that it's a non-biased fight, and the judges might be like, "Damn, okay, he actually did good." Because I think the Ortiz fight was in Florida, right?
I thought that was in New York.
Was it in New York?
Yeah, I thought so. But
it's hard, man.
But let me say, I'm gonna say this, man. I think it's gonna be in the build up, man, because I'm still, the more and more we have these fights and the way things are going with them trying to paint Core like the heir apparent and all of that. I think it's gonna be based on how they continue to promote, because right now, if you look at it, the more fan friendly fighter right now, basically the one that you can kind of, with the payers there and you and getting a big fight, or somebody saying, "Oh, you not having to deal with all of the hoopla, all of the back and forth, all of the nitpicking," I think that's Tio, because his whole thing been the pay. Mm-hmm. So I think that the business of boxing would want him, but I gotta see how they continue to promote, because I don't know if you've been watching some of the ring stuff here lately, but it's getting mushy, man. I'm like, I'm like, is this what we stuck with now? Like a bunch of people romanticizing boxing now. It's like it's not even credible no more. Because I keep saying, since Padley, I mean, we seen Zepeda, but what else did we see to get to warrant all of this like extraness that we're getting? So I'm like, I think that's the way. I think they're trying to sell us on this is the way we want to go because of the things that Shakur is saying as far as what he want to do and how he want, like him saying, oh, I want Conor Ben and I want like just that benefit of the doubt stuff that I've been saying he's been getting a lot of the time.
Yeah, but so, he's trying to answer the question that you just asked about the business of boxing and stuff like that. Looking at what he's doing in my opinion, by calling out Conor Ben, it makes it seem like his people, Clarissa, Bud, and Ward, are telling him to understand the business of boxing. Call out the next big guy or have the next big guy, or the next big fight, put that out there so people can think and have it already embedded in their mind. And even with the judges, when it comes down to the business of boxing, you're looking to make the big fight after this. You want to do Conor Ben. That was a spectacle. So you'll have them mulling over in your head, in their minds, that, hey, he does want to fight Conor Ben, and this guy, is not really letting us know much of anything of any fight after that. You know what? Let's give it to Shakur. I think that's what they might be trying to, find that field and land that plane somewhere in there so they feel a little bit more comfortable as far as if it's a close decision, they may say, I want the close decision to go to the right person, which I think it's going to be me. So to have the constant eyesights with the Bud Crawford and having Terence Crawford in your camp, this is all optics that I think they're trying to send to the business of boxing to say, I can be that dude that you're looking for, just give me that chance. Just like Tio was trying to say, I can be that Latino in boxing, but y'all just got to pay me and give me the chance. So whether or not that's spot on, it's just something I think I'm noticing. And as I look back at everything, you know where I'm going, what I'm going to say again. It puts me on a journey to say, how did I get here?
Yeah.
And when I look at that, I look back and say, that could be that could be a real possibility. They trying to set that up in the minds that saying, listen, he's already trying to set up the string of big fights to say this is what the big stars do. They let you know, I want this guy, and I want this guy. And if I get past this guy, the machine should get behind me so I can go after this guy and this guy and this guy. Because then I'll give y'all the fights that you want. Then I'll show y'all how great of a boxer I am. So that's the part that's making me feel like the ring people, the ones with the assignment, the ones who can get that money under the table and then start to sway the opinion, and then every time they talk, it's always going to be, yeah, but look at how Vegas got this fight. And you got to understand, Tio is the reigning champ at that weight, and he's the natural 140-pounder. But the betting odds got this, so, it just tells you how much of an elite fighter Shakur Stevenson really is. And you just sit there and you just like, the fuck do y'all keep saying that for? Like, what is the reason that y'all want to keep harping on these definitive words to describe this guy? I didn't even hear that. You feel what I'm saying with the Devin Haney, Brian Norman build up. A lot of y'all was, same dudes was like, yeah, but Brian Norman is confident. He's coming off or the knockout or the whatever. This is a definite true 50-50 fight. You feel what?
Well, you know they still got Shakur the favorite,
Yeah.
but this is my thing, man. I'm like, I've never seen him going there as an underdog. I've never seen Shakur go into a fight and he hasn't been the overwhelming favorite in the fight.
Well, he tried to portray it in the Oscar Valdez fight. Remember when Canelo brought Valdez in, or Canelo went to go see Valdez in camp, and they was showing like that little teeny bit of footage of them supposed to be working on stuff, and Canelo had the long talk with him. They asked Valdez, what did he say? He was like, you got to beat this guy for Mexican pride and all of this other stuff. And Shakur was making it seem as though, yeah, all the Mexican and Latin fans are against me in this fight, especially now that Canelo stepped into it, and he wants to back Valdez. So I feel like I'm gonna beat Canelo and Valdez when I win this fight. And it was just surprising that at that point you didn't release or really kind of let anybody know, yeah, I'm half Puerto Rican, so if y'all want to feel that way, wear my real Boricuas in Jersey. So you had that opportunity to do something special and introduce something else, but he went with I'm gonna beat both of them, which was still cool with me. I was like, whoa, yeah, Shakur, that's what's up. You feel what I'm saying? Let both of them niggas know. Canelo, you ain't got no business down there talking to that little dude to fight Shakur. Fuck you doing? Why you out here ducking Jamal and shit like that, bro? Jamal and a bunch of other motherfuckers, but you won't be talking to Valdez. Get out of here. At least Valdez trying to fight a tough, slick black fighter. You feel what I'm saying? So I was kind of on it like that back then. And but overall, I just remember that, with some of the talking points, they was trying to make it seem as though Shakur wasn't the favorite and Oscar Valdez was this little short menace that is yada yada yada. And I was like, there is no fucking way Oscar Valdez is beating Shakur. Y'all niggas is crazy. He should have stayed at 126. So,
well, yeah, I'll wrap it up like this on my end. I'm gonna say, if I had to put some bread down, I would say Shakur gonna win because he just gonna beat Shakur, put your shutout, minimize the damage, don't make no mistakes, force T.O. to make mistakes, force T.O. to be the aggressor, capitalize on T.O.'s mistakes, pretty much pitch the shutout like you normally do. That's what I think. That's what I think Shakur's game plan is. I don't think that there's any pressure for him to do anything outstanding. I think he's kind of playing with the house's money. I do think that he is getting the benefit of the doubt of being affiliated with the people in that room, the Andre Wards, the Buds, the Clarissas, even the Tim Bradleys and the endorsements and the things that they're going to say. I think it's going to come down to T.O.'s headspace. I think he is going to be more confident. I think he is going to. This is a high octane fight, and he typically shows up for those kind of fights. And I think that he knows he don't have anything to lose, and I think he's willing to take more risks. So he can make it very interesting. And if he hurts Shakur, in which I kind of think he's going to have to hurt him at some point. He's going to have to be effective in his punching. For me, I almost kind of want T.O. to win because I think for the sport of boxing, I think it'll be better if T.O. win. Because if Shakur win, all it's going to do is stamp him in the moves that he planned on making. It's going to be like, they're going to act like this dude can go do whatever. They're going to act like he will be accomplished. He will have that fruit salad. He will have that accolade soup that he can rely on, which is going to rack up a bunch of points. But as far as the business of boxing and the moves, Boston's gonna be all over the place, and we got to go with this benefit of the doubt shit more off. Like more, I think that if T.O. wins, we'll probably get a unification.
Yeah.
It's just going to mess up the 140 division if Shakur win because of his plans afterwards. He don't even have plans to unify. He keeps saying he a 35 pounder, but he got plans on going to 47. I mean, I don't know, and I think that's what's probably turning me off to Shakur winning. Even though if I had to put money down right now, I would say Shakur probably going to win. But I could see T.O. I could see how T.O. can win. I just don't like how the media is doing it. I don't like all like the press and how they're like controlling the narrative and how they pushing this like he's in the Hall of Fame already and like he's just like I'm like that's too early for that and it's just
bro.
It's a turn off. So I mean
Brian Norman and Dev. Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead. My bad.
No, but that's really where I'm at with it.
But Brian Norman and Dev was much more fun. You feel what I'm saying? That was a fun build up. Everybody, had their sides and everything, and it was just fun to me. You know what I'm saying? With this one, it's like, you serious? You kind of make that face like, what? Like, you serious? Where are y'all getting this one? Where are y'all getting this from? Yo, this is what? So I'm in agreement with you to whereas I think it might be bad for boxing if Shakur wins because the situation is going to be if he wins, Shakur can do anything he want to do right now. I mean, he just beat T.O. and then look at the performance with Zepeda, and the T.O. win somehow makes Zepeda on the same level of T.O. because they're trying to do that hard body right now and actually give Zepeda the edge over T.O. So if he wins, the two of them dudes is in the same category. Look at what he did to T.O. and then look what he did to Zepeda. So that's gonna be real fucking nasty right there. That's gonna be real ugly right there, and that's gonna be the two fights that they're gonna. Oh, don't let me forget. Oh, and then he stopped Padley. Now all of a sudden, Padley is a full 8-week fight. He came in as a dangerous contender and shit like that. There was no dudes are gonna. What are you talking about? That fight Ben fell apart between him and Schofield. That's why Padley stepped in, and they're gonna twitch that narrative between him and Padley to have Padley's the stoppage. The outstanding performance was against Zepeda. The elite performance was against Zepeda, and T.O. was the legitimacy. So you got your three kings. You got your trifecta right there of the talking points to say this man can go and do whatever the fuck he want to do with whoever the fuck he wants to do. And we just need to appreciate it because he earned it. And that's what I think is going to happen. And me in the subconscious way, I think that's was the catalyst for me saying, you know what? I have my 3 ways to fight go, but you know what? Just for the sake of it being there and stuff like that, I'm gonna pick T.O. I'm gonna pick T.O. So that's the decision I made. I'm gonna ride out with it. Although I still see the way both guys win, and I also see the draw. So I'm counting on T.O. to go in there, make the shit ugly, make the shit messy. I want to see if all the little things he was saying leading up to the fight, he can actually pull off. So, that's where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna just try to make it fun.
Good word, man. I appreciate you jumping up here, man.
Yeah, for sure, bro. On to the next one.
All right, brother. Enjoy your week, bro.
You too.
All right, man. Yeah, man. Well, I mean, long story short, man, I think that these guys are the Blue Notes. It's up to Shakur to become Harold Melvin. I think Keyshawn has the ability, but he got to step out from up under the coattails of Shakur. Ray Ford got to do the same. Stop doing this coattail boxing, and put that spark back in the boxing. That's just where I'm leaning at, man. I hope this is not. I hope this is not going to be the standard for 2026. If it is, man, the future of boxing is like it's going to be lackluster as hell, man. Because we're not going to get like the performance, the entertainment factor, all of that, the knockout. We're not going to get it at this rate with this. So this is something that you can put in your rucksack and march on with. Silence consent is the mantra of the channel, meaning that all it takes for evil to prevail is for men and women to remain silent. So we speak to those things. This is fruits and veggies, not that Reggie. That fact-based content, not opinion-based. I ask y'all to support the channel in any way that you can. This channel is monetized. So you can support with a super chat. You can support with a cash app. You can hype the video. You can share the video. Definitely comment and leave your feedback. Talk to me. Holler at me. I'll talk back. But yeah, man, what we want to do, man, we're going to continue in the vein of where we at, man. We might not be the most popular. We're not going to be like the McDonald's or the 7-Elevens where we on here all day, every day, and we're the most frequent and we're always out here. But what we are going to do is every time you see and hear from us, we're going to be thorough in the approach. We're going to speak our mind. We're going to say what needs to be said, and we're going to keep it 100 on this boxing, man. Ain't no need to sugarcoat. Ain't no need to try to spare people's feelings. We're just going to talk about boxing the way it should be, man, and try to remain integrous to the sport. Anyways, I hope you got something from it. Thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.